Hey, it's Sizzling Popcorn here, and who's tallying the ground strikes? I don't know, but I just tried a race with someone, and my joystick just wasn't turning. So I went over to Velocity 1 flight controls, and that was even worse. So I just came back to this in a time trial to try to get this to work, because like right now I'm like yanking to the right, but it's not turning. Got Mill? No, I need some FS in the chat. Because this is I'm saying that in my mind, FS. Got about like 30 minutes before the race starts. Yeah, it just says. Gotta take a look at my Logitech. I go back to default. Sensitivity? I don't know. What is this? I know. It's just, it's a debacle here. I haven't met you know, in the Discord I was talking about like all the different celebrities I've met. I've never met Jerry Springer, but this is almost like gonna be Jerry Springer very shortly. Losing my... I'm not that worried. Oh, no, that... Why on the default goes backwards? I think this is the profile that I have from Airstead. I'm gonna go back out, try this again, and then I gotta get into I got one. I got two. Hey, Lars. Yeah, it just won't go to the... It's like it's dead. This is gonna really suck. What? It is moving. Let's see if that works. Oh, that's like even less responsive. So the only way that I'm moving is with the rudder part. so I can get me hyped up. No, the trash talking. This is a piece of trash right now. It's the joystick sensitivity. Oh yeah, and then it does this bug. So I pretty much had to just restart. Good thing I got a little bit of time before I'm in race number 4. But we haven't started anyways on the on Twitch. I just want to get my controls set. I die like that. It's just the plane will not move. There's only 2 guys in my race up to now, so I'm gonna stick here and practice, or not practice, just get this thing to work. Yeah, I'm like fully yanking on this thing. There. I think I'm gonna fly like this. I think it might just be better. And that's probably why I can't move, is because, yeah, I'm see like a yanking and then finally at the end it's frustrating, especially this close. Still got 20 minutes. All right. Like, I know a plane doesn't fly like that. Yeah, just stop. Watch out! I'll then shine in the actual race. I'll be like what's that? Clark Kent there, and he turns into Superman. Man. I can fly on your behalf if you want. Give me your password. You do all the talking. Yeah. Sounds great. Yeah. People are nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm just like, joystick's not working. That's why last week in the, like with the F-14, I couldn't fly it. What else do I have? I'm not gonna do honeycomb yoke. Hey, what if I did keyboard? No? Keyboard warrior? Let's see. Dead zone, neutral. But as you can see here, X-axis is going. You don't have to stick around after your race finishes, but you're the current wildcard leader. Please stay until the end. If two racers have the exact time, we'll do a sudden death elimination race. All right. But yeah, so left and right are good. Forward, backward, and then the rudder, the twist. So it's not the joystick. There's something. I was somewhat okay in that race. I just saw March posted on YouTube a video of us racing the other night in practice. Air Stud Marsh and I. And I think I was fine. Akira, I just... well, I did try the Velocity 1 flight controls, and that wasn't really good. Wasn't flying. Like I actually had the same issue. Recalibrate it. Yeah. I don't even know how to calibrate this thing. It's just plug and play. Yeah, yeah. It's unplugged. It's on the shelf behind me. In Windows. Logitech 3D Pro calibration. A Logitech profiler? Man, you guys like on Windows 95. Game controller setting. Move the handle on the complete a circle. Move the slider all the way up. There's someone just asking you, is the event going to be streamed somewhere? Like, really? Z rotation. I know you guys can't see this, but I've got the calibration going here. Apply. All right, calibrated. Let's see if it changes anything. I really don't think it's gonna change anything, but let's see. Should see. Yeah. So I've just recalibrated it. No, it's something with the plane or Microsoft, because I can't move it. Yeah, like I couldn't move it to get it back, or even like just nudge it over. It's weird. I'm gonna go into place and be like, "Hey everyone, what's popping?" Let's see. They're not, because what I'll do is I'll put their stream on, but I'll put it on mute or whatever, just in case there's some music or. But I'm gonna go on my race chat, see what's going on in there. There's only 2 guys in there, so there's 8 minutes until the event starts, but we're race number 4, and it's just me and 2 other guys racing. Like, people haven't showed up yet. Race number 2 only has 3 people. Race 6 has 1. Yeah. It's a tough gig here, I guess. All right, I'll do that. I'll do that right now. Oh no, I want the completely get out. Let's try that again. Just restart it up. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, race 2 only has. But yeah, how's everyone's day been going? Been going pretty good here. Yeah, today secured some daycare finally for both kids, and it's like, seriously, I walked to the mailbox and I actually passed by the place. So we told the lady saying, you know, Sonny likes to run out of the house, so that lock that's on the door, you can get through that. You're gonna have to put another lock to stop him from trying to get out. But I wonder, like, if he ever ran out of there, would he run back home here? And if he ever ran out of here, would he run there? When he runs out of here, he goes to the park, the playground on his own, and you're like, well, where is he? And you go all the way to the playground and he's there. See there, they got Chewy doing the broadcast on Twitch. I almost think that it's like music from like Flight Simulator. Oh, it's from in here. Comfortable under the surface. And a lingering. Oh, it sounds like nature. Come on, Flight Simulator. Oh, now the first 3 races are all filled up with 6. That's good. I want to see the race number 5. There's this hairy guy. Like, not that he's like hairy, but he is hairy. His name is Harry. You know what I mean. But I want to see how he does, because he's been like all talk all week about how he does Reno Air races every weekend. They have a group and stuff, and they advertise, and you know, that's you know, it's not our fault that you didn't find us to improve on your Reno score. And I'm like, come on, dude, like, advertising, the first time I ever heard of you. All right, let's try this. And try this one more time before I go into. But seriously, last night I tried 2-3 times, nobody on the server. Before now, I tried, and there was one guy, and it was one of the competitors. And then I tried to restart. There was no one. Like, it's Reno Air Races. It's for multiplayer stuff. Like, you can't race by yourself, and there's no AI racing. If there was AI racing, it would help it a little bit, but it's 3 circles on the same track. It's like saying, hey, here's Daytona 500, and you're gonna have fun with this for years to come. But the thing is what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you the NASCAR, the Xfinity, and the trucks. Okay, but after a while, it gets boring, and especially if there's no one online to race with. So we're gonna do time trial. But yeah, you'll be seeing my video coming out, maybe not this weekend, maybe next weekend after the finales. Buyer still beware. Because you pretty much need a community to fly privately. That's the only way of doing this. Oh. Yeah, no. See, I can't even move. It's like on a slant like that. Yeah, it's like really, it's unraceable. It's gonna be a embarrassment, but whatever. I'll be the laughing stock on Twitch. But I bought the full, yeah. Yep, you bought the whole thing. Good thing you didn't pay for every plane individually. $450. Hey, if you pay us $80, you're gonna save $400. Who the hell would buy each plane individually? It's just stupid. It's just a marketing scheme in that case. All right, I'm gonna shut up because I'm gonna go into my race room, see what's going on, and I'll ask them if they want to say hi to chat. Tell them that we got 700 people, viewers right now watching. They're all mute, so I'm muting myself. Just like doing time trials, I guess. Hey, I got away. Can we do it with this? Gotta use a PS4 controller. I don't know how this works, but we got a little bit of time.
In unlimited class, you'll see the fastest piston-powered airplanes in the world.
Oh, let the show begin.
The jet class was inaugurated in 2002, featuring match racing with Czech-built L-39 Albatross jets.
Who's ready to see some disaster go? All right, let's try it like this. I think I found my way here. What am I gonna do? Can I do one circle? That's 44 seconds, 46. Oh, but my lap time is so slow. All right, so we know that that works. I'm gonna take that off.
Straight away put out an apology to Jane, especially personally, because she was expecting me to be in full suit attire, esports style.
I was expecting both CD and Chewy to just be, you know, very.
We've let you down.
Shoulder pads and everything. So.
Jane, maybe, no promises. Maybe I'll do a wardrobe adjustment.
The stream comes with a wardrobe change, everybody. That's how professional it is. Chewy suitor, right? I agree.
Maybe maybe for the finals. Who knows? We'll see for the
Ooh.
finals next week. Who knows? Maybe we'll have the all start dressed up ready for the grand finals next week. Who knows? We'll see.
Do a poll.
So this is the Reno Air Race Series presented by Tobii. Tobii, the makers of the Eye Tracker 5. Fantastic piece of flight sim kit.
Yes, it
all
is.
Three of us on the panel today own one of those pieces of hardware. I
do
absolutely love it.
too.
I've said this many times before, and I'll stick with this line. You know, when you want to make a hardware investment to increase your immersion and realism in flight simulation, the number one best thing you can get is a good set of controls. So a sticker yoke, a throttle, and a set of rudder pedals. The number two best thing you can get is a Tobii Eye Tracker. So highly recommended. I think it's a great product. And we're thrilled to have them as our partnered sponsor on the Reno Air Race Series. Also sponsored by Thrustmaster. The grand prize winner next week will be winning a Thrustmaster Boeing TCA edition yoke and throttle quadrant.
Yep. And CD, who do
Ooh.
we have behind the scenes helping out with cameras and running the races today?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Jane. The real MVPs of today's broadcast are community members Peter and SimTom, who are going to be scrambling to get everyone in the lobbies at the right time. And they'll also be the in-race observers. So they'll be participating in the race, but they're going to deliberately hang back, stay in last place, and just so you can watch all the other competitors from their point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So huge thank you to Peter and SimTom.
Yep. Yep.
Also, shout out to London Controller, who's in chat. Welcome, Jamie.
Hi,
Nice to
Jamie.
see you.
London Controller. What's up, JB?
He messaged me a good luck message earlier on. I've had lots of people today. I've actually got some familiar names who are racing and things today. There's going to be, normally as an esports broadcaster and commentator, you have to be completely unbiased. But I've got some viewers and some good friends who are racing today. So I might be biased, but I've not actually told them yet whether I'm going to be biased in their favor or against them and heavily judgmental. So we'll have to find out how well they'll do.
Marsh, I think he's mentioning me there. We're friends, huh?
Taking part in today's race is already in the chat as well.
Oh, no.
So I think there's going to be some people observing some of the early tactics if they're in the later races today. But there's been a lot of practice going on, right? You know, we've got a Discord server where people have been practicing and getting themselves set up and ready to go for these preliminary rounds and stuff. So I think people are taking this quite seriously, apart from maybe Kenko, who came into my Twitch channel a mere few hours ago and said he had no idea what he was doing whatsoever. So,
amazing. I cannot wait to
hopefully he's
see that.
practiced.
And
Hopefully
for
he's
the 6 races, we did choose them randomly, so people were grouped together randomly. CD did a live stream just for them earlier this week to place them into their groups, so there shouldn't be any advantages to any particular race.
Yeah, there's no seating at all.
Yeah, I'll just there's a question in chat here from Joe Dawson. Want to know, how do you qualify to be in this event? Well, it's too late now, but how you did qualify and how our competitors today qualified between late June and July 20th. So for about a 3-week period,
I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Can you hear them?
submit their registration
I
information.
know I'm much louder than them.
Everyone. And we selected 49 random lucky winners from all who entered, and those were the 49 that were selected to race in the preliminary round today. Then the groups, so whether you're in race 1 through race 6, that was all done completely at random. Again, I did stream my screen, made it available to the racers themselves.
A bit low to hear them. Okay.
Completely fairly. So no bias whatsoever on who got put in what group.
I just got to remember to bring it back down because it's going to get loud.
First race, if you can hear me, Peter, can you give me the go ahead? Are we
When I'm racing?
We actually are, yeah.
Wow.
I think if I press ready to fly, we are actually going to qualify.
Ooh.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know how the Reno Air Race mode in Microsoft Flight Simulator works, this is actually modeled on the real Reno Air Racing, which happens. The National Championship Air Races in Reno, Nevada happens every year in September. There's a qualifying lap, which is what our racers are going to do first. That will determine placement in the real race, and then they'll do 8 laps of real racing around the course. For the sake of this event, we have turned off mid-air collisions, just because it wouldn't be fun for a racer to have their race ruined by someone else crashing into them through no fault of their own. So we've turned that off, but otherwise, most of the settings are set to default. And Peter, over to you. Let's get started.
Okay, let's go.
So who have we got? We've got Johnny Fun, Bootstrap Boone, who is a name that I recognize. Sikanova, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, and the other names have just gone off the screen for me. This is always the curse as a commentator. The worst part about commentating is trying to pronounce usernames, especially if you're doing things fast. And as far as I'm aware, the Reno Air Races is the fastest form of motorsport. So
that is correct.
Yeah,
it's going to go quick.
We also have Claude Hopper 888 and Rocket Glider joining us. I know we missed those couple names there.
Cool. So we've got a good group. Hopefully they'll set the pace. I was actually having a look at kind of like the leaderboards and things to see what kind of times we're going to be expecting. And again, on my live stream earlier on, people were talking about what kind of times they're going to be getting or what they're hoping for. So I think we're aiming for about 55 to 57 seconds a lap. Depending on your skill level, so it should take just under 8 minutes or so.
Oh yeah, because the time trial is like doing a minute and 13 seconds, but it's because in time trials,
and as you said,
everything's not normalized.
A total of 9 pylons, not including the lap line, which we actually see Peter just going through now. So he's basically
so it should be different.
Lap. But he's not really taking part at the moment. You'll see the full view with everybody else, hopefully with Peter showing everybody else's camera after he does his qualifying.
We hope Peter gets last place for
yeah, that will be a little bit awkward, wouldn't it? That's the aim of it. Yeah.
Don't worry. I have a natural talent to be last. So.
Okay. Too harsh on yourself. Too harsh. I think he's secretly being competitive here.
Yeah, he's secretly gonna try to win every single race.
Yeah, that's it. He's gonna try and win all 6 rounds to get all 6 places in the final. Yeah, that's it. That's how it's gonna run.
Yes, and welcome in anyone who's just joining us on Twitch. Happy to have you. We're just doing the qualifying lap for race number 1 with Peter on camera.
Yeah. And just so there's no confusion at all, Peter is not a competitor. He's not part of the competition, but we do need to use him as an observer, so he has to run the qualifying lap just like everyone else.
There we go.
It looks like qualifying ends, so that means someone has already crossed the finish line.
Let's see. If Peter's not come last here, then somebody's not been practicing. We'll find out shortly. There we go. He has come last. Okay. So, running order for race number 1 then. Synchro Nova, 58 seconds, standing out of the
that is
with
fast.
a 0.4-second lead there over Clodhopper, and then the names have just gone off the channel again. But we've got our lineup. I'm already worried that the viewer from my Twitch channel is in the last place on that one, but I think it was about a minute. It looked like timing-wise there was only about 2 seconds, maybe 1.3 seconds or so between 1st and 5th place there on the first race. So hopefully, with qualifying times that quick, that's going to mean it should be a great race to watch, but we will find out imminently.
Yeah, so when we released the Reno expansion last year, I remember Jorg doing a live Q&A, and he was talking about how in the Reno mode, just like the real Reno Air Races, you fight for every small fraction of a second. It's
willpower. Yeah, willpower.
So I think the idea, I'm not sure if Peter is just going to fly around or if he's going to land his plane and then bring the drone camera out. So it might look a little bit wonky here just as he gets set up.
Cool. Well, the race is actually underway. He's getting it set up here. As we said, there's no proper full observer mode at the moment, so you'll have to ignore Peter's lack of flying prowess at the moment, just whilst he gets that set up. But the race is actually underway and started. It is 8 laps, so don't worry that we're missing the first stages of it. I guess the guys who are racing are just getting things rocking and rolling. Hopefully Peter can get the drone camera and everything set up and going soon. I would ask for predictions. This is normally the point where we would ask for predictions in the race, but considering we've never seen any of these people before, it's quite difficult to ask for predictions from my fellow commentators.
Here we go. Who's catching up now?
Here we are. The drone camera. This is going to be good. I'm looking forward to seeing Peter's drone skills.
I am too.
Let's see how he does. Cool. So it actually looks like Claude, who qualified in 2nd place there, has already overtaken Cinco on that first lap. Bootstrap also overtaken Rocket Glider as well there, so Rocket's down into 5th place at the moment. But you'll see on the top right-hand corner there, for those of you watching, we've got the lap counter, obviously quite self-explanatory. You've also got information about total times, lap times as well in there, and also penalties as well that have come in. So against each racer's name, you'll see 5 five white circles. And essentially those are penalties. So if you miss a pylon, you get a 16-second time penalty added to your total time in the race.
This way,
5 penalties, hence the 5 circles there, will equal a disqualification from the race. I'm hoping we've got good quality racers, and that isn't going to happen today. But, I mean, as you can already see, we've got a little bit of a split between the pack here. It looks like Clodhopper and Sicko are already starting to move away from the pack, with Rocket Glider bringing up the rear there.
People are cheering on Bootstrap Boone here.
Hell yeah.
Punch a
Chad,
leprechaun.
even if you don't know who they are, just pick a name that you think is going to win and start cheering them on. I'm sure they could use it.
I want to see some fans of, I want to see fangirls with, like, Anna's in the chat for some of these races by the end. Pick your favorite, for the grand finals next week. Who do you think's going to do it? We'll have to see. Johnny's taking an incredibly high line there. I'm not too sure if he's trying to, go up to the P-51's flight limit of altitude of 41,000 feet, but it looks like he's actually been reset. So, again, that's actually a good point to note. 250 feet AGL is the maximum height that you can go. You will get a warning in the race if you do reach that height limit. And then, as I think we saw there with Johnny, if you do spend too much time at that altitude, simulation...
It is going to be interesting.
...to a lower altitude to ensure that you don't conflict with any air traffic control restrictions in the virtual airspaces here. It says...
Because really, right at the last minute, I was like, oh yeah, the PS4 controller, I'm going to use that.
Much higher lap count than that. I think we're going...
I'm not even going to modulate the prop or anything, just use the
so ignore the fact
the left stick and just fly it.
On the ground. But I mean, the camera work. I think he's doing a good job at the
Exciting,
moment.
isn't it?
I guess that's the one downside of doing it. We'll just always see 1 out of 8 laps.
We will. But because we know that it's about a 57 second lap time, we can kind of get an idea about what lap they're on with that one. But I mean, again, talking about the split here, this is looking pretty good. I don't know if Peter can hear us and if you can try and get a close-up on Seekonova there and Clodhopper, because these two are really at it. Don't forget that it is the first place position for each race who goes through to the grand final next week, and the fastest time, overall time for second place, will get a wild card entry. So there's no holding back here. Whoever comes first in this race,
that is
next
close.
week, and everybody else in the race, or third and backwards, unfortunately, is already eliminated from it. So Seekonova, if he is going to finish in second place here, is at least going to be trying to fight for that fastest second place time throughout the 6 races today. But they're pulling away from the pack. You can see in the top right-hand corner as well, we've got the circular lap race, so you can see the positions of all of the different pilots, and there's 3 quite distinctive groups there already forming.
Repeatedly punch.
From Pop. I don't know the type of controller hardware the racers are using. Now, I don't know what every single racer is, but I imagine
you can go to Notre Dame for that.
The finalists will probably ask them what controllers they're using in the wildcard round, so that way for next week we'll know exactly what controllers led them to victory.
I think we should do like full interview profiles and everything, like the esports intros where they all, like the FIFA intros where they all cross their arms and everything.
Yeah.
And walk up to this. I had to do that for a shoot the other week, and it was so awkward. But I mean, they're still looking pretty good. These two are doing a pretty good job. I mean, it almost looks like they're just...
What kind of esports is he into? Chewy.
It's going to be interesting.
I know he does flight sim.
Whether they can keep up with it, and I can already see
other than that,
and Bootstrap trading positions back and
not
forth
sure
the entire time as well. So. I mean, we've got some good racing going on here already in the start. I think it's going to be very, very difficult for Rocket, Bootstrap, and Johnny to try and catch up with those front 2 runners. We are definitely over halfway through the race already now.
Unless something crazy happens, it could happen.
That's it. You never know. That's exactly
back and forth.
Something that's a big thing that I know CD is a huge fan of within Reno Air Races is the wake turbulence factor behind these aircraft, right?
Yeah.
So I want to tell our viewers a little bit about the community that has formed. We selected the racers 2 weeks ago, and we invited them all to a Discord server that we created for this event. And on their own initiative, without us encouraging them to do this at all, they have started practicing together and cooperating and sharing tips and tricks, even though they're competing against each other. They have
overtaken.
I'm just trying to, I'm trying to keep up with it as well. Like, it's interesting to try and see the positioning. It actually looks like Sicko and Clod have slightly pulled away from each other now. Sicko's starting to take the lead. quite substantially. You can see again on that top.
Oh, yeah.
Icon there. So we've got five very distinct
Sikonova is way ahead of Clodhopper.
Lap and a half left on this one. So, and it actually looks like we were talking about anything can happen.
Yep.
Clodhopper, have a look at that red X.
No.
He's missed a pylon. Something has
Two
happened. Two pylons out.
Oh, no.
He's missed 2 pylons.
Really happened. There was some really good close racing there, and we were talking about how whoever was going to finish in second place on this race could at least be fighting for a chance to get that wild card spot.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like that's going to be Clodhopper, because even though they might finish in second place, each one of those red X's is a 16-second time penalty. So 30.
Wow, 16-second time penalty.
In form today, and you can see he's already dropping back. I don't know if he's got an issue with his aircraft. Maybe something's gone wrong with the hydraulic systems in his P-51, but he's already dropped back to 4th place. Maybe he's just being kind and giving the other racers an opportunity. But I mean, I think Sikonova has this one in the bag unless something rather dramatic happens. But you never know with Reno Air Racing, right?
Well, and as you said, you know, even if you think you're way far behind and not going to qualify in first place, it's always worth fighting for that wildcard spot if you're in the running for it.
There we go.
Race ends in 50 seconds.
We're just kind of chilling for a lot of this race with the Bootstrap. Oh, actually, Bootstrap just takes second place there at the end. Whoa!
Wow!
About Rocket
Bootstrap
coming in. And who are chilling out at the end there after pulling away from Bootstrap. But at the very last pylon, Bootstrap Boone takes the second place. So Sicko an absolutely convincing win there.
Wow.
Great races against Clod, but unfortunately Clod may have had some issues with their aircraft or just something went wrong at the end in their race. So Sicko takes a very convincing win, and they're going to be the first racer through to the grand finals next week. Bootstrap Boone, we're going to get their time, and then we'll compare their overall race time, as I say, with everybody else who finishes second in the other races happening this evening to see if they also qualify. But they've got themselves in with a chance. It's not yet over for Bootstrap. And congratulations to the other 3 racers there on a clean first race, I'd say.
Yep.
And Sikonova in our Twitch chat saying good game to the other racers.
There we go. Even got time to come into the chat and congratulate all the others. But yeah, CD, you were saying about like on their own initiative, these people have been practicing in their own time. They've been giving tips to each other. They've been kind of telling each other the inside strategy. Maybe not too many inside strategies, you know, but it's been really interesting to see them kind of come together over the last few weeks in the Discord server. And as you say, give some tips and kind of talk about things that they can do. And I think the most important thing is that, you know, there's been a bit of friendly.
2 more races.
It's all been about a community.
And then it's the sizzling
coming together and just enjoying
race.
the Reno Air races and trying to help each other improve.
Yeah, you love to see it.
This better help me out. Save my day.
Peter, are we able to get the results screen up?
Not yet.
I wish.
See what we've got.
Not yet.
We will see. But there we go. That's race number 1. That went quick, right?
Yeah.
That went super quick. Are people saying that it was the Ferrari strategies that was causing the issues there? Or,
The Ferrari strategy.
See what happened there. Yeah.
All right. Well, if anyone in chat, if any
out.
of our racers are in Twitch chat, if you can tell me Sikonova's time and Bootstrap Boone's time, and I'll make sure they get logged as the winner and, at least for now, the wildcard position holder.
What? You can't.
That was great. That was a good first race. I mean, there were some quite distinct.
You can't get the timings?
Pairings, but it was back and forward between the people in first and second, and in third and fourth.
Just doing ahead of time as I know how this is.
Bootstrap, as we say, and that's the thing with Reno Air Race, right? You know, it's never over until it's over. We thought for the entirety of that, and I think a lot of our minds were maybe made up that it was going to be Clodhopper and Sicko who are going to be those first 2 positions, but Bootstrap, who was in 4th for quite a bit of the race, actually finished 2nd in the end. So that's what I love about this, though. And we were speaking about it a couple of weeks ago on the live stream, weren't we? Talking about how the Reno Air Race Series is really good fun when you get a group of friends together with a group with this. And I can imagine it could get quite heated sometimes if you get a group of friends.
That's pretty much the only way. Like if you don't know anyone,
try and pit yourselves against one another to see who's the best racer.
or to race multiplayer online, it's
it
like
looks like Peter might be having some problems. If anyone was in that race, if you can type in chat Sikonova's time and Bootstrap Boone's time, so I can get.
sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, looks like we got
What do you think? I'm gonna get a CTD?
for now. Looking at race 2, I'm just saying who's next here.
Are you going to read out those names? Here we go, Jane. This is it. We were talking about the commentator's job of reading out names that you don't know how to pronounce. So here's your chance.
Stop with Wally, Woodlock 005, Coldy Bear, Lord Voodoo 29, X Swimma, and Lazy. That's who's going to be up next here.
Brilliant. I don't know if we've got any fans of any of those people. So in the chat, I'm a fan of Michael. Michael's one of my Twitch viewers who was very excited for the races today. He was practicing earlier on, I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Michael.
It's quite interesting. They were posting their lap times earlier on.
So we got 7:33.359.
Yeah, sorry, that took a while. My PC decided to wait.
And then Bootstrap is
Get it.
7:45.531.
You know you can take a screenshot of this.
All right, Jane, if you want to put the leaderboard up, we got our first round of results. There it is.
Look at that, the production skills. So quick to get these things set up. I love it. There we go, confirming race results for race number 1.
Why is Bootra Boom?
Also, another thing to note as well is that all of these people who are racing are in a Discord voice channel with each other. That's not really something that we've spoken about so far, but within our Reno Air Race Series Discord server,
Yes.
everybody from the races are in the server.
It's quite chatty in my race room.
A bit of trash talk going on during the race or anything like that. I think so. I think they should all be screaming down the microphone at each other. How dare you overtake me there? No, you can't do that. I think that would add to the intensity.
Well, when you have mid-air collisions turned on,
Oh, absolutely. I think for the grand finals, that's exactly what
You'll need it.
all right, we've got race number 2. Simtom, looks like your lobby is full. Are you ready to go?
We are ready to rock and roll.
All right, let's
Time to beat 7 minutes and 45 seconds. Or win the race.
Start with Wally. He is on the leaderboards in Reno Air Race, and he's, I believe, ranked top 5 in the world last I checked. I don't know his exact ranking. So
Oh
I
my
think we've got a real pro in this heat. So
So
my
that's
money's on
who you're going to put
Sopwith.
your money on.
My money's definitely on Sopwith, but we'll see what
Okay, so
happens.
there we go.
Anything,
So
anything can happen.
On who?
Could cut 2 pylons.
Did you hear that sound? That's a P-51, a pure symphony.
So again, just as another
What true he's talking about?
for the first race, Peter, who is our camera operator.
I'm in race number 4 of 6. So we got 2 more races, and then it's my race.
Qualifying or anything at the moment, you'll see the full race, and he'll do his amazing camera work.
Yes.
There were some really nice angles, I thought. Peter
good.
got there.
And-
He's a camera operator in disguise.
And we're switching between Peter and Simtom. So race number 2, we have
great.
Simtom
I was
doing
like, we have 2 Peters now.
2 Peters.
We have 2. Simtom's here as okay, great. I apologize, Tom.
So Peter is our
Andy
observer
guy.
for
Who's
odd
Andy?
numbered races, and Simtom is the observer for even numbered races. So right now,
Andy
as we're
guy.
running this race, Peter is now prepping the lobby for race number 3.
Look at the organization that the Microsoft team.
You're talking about
I'm just here as a new
Harry?
commentator. I've just been sat here picking my nose.
Harry's in race 5.
That's about it. The organization. Love it. Love to see it.
Well, we have a question from Fordo in chat. Says, "Isn't Simtom a proper drone operator?" Well, he is. Simtom,
Well
his
then.
day job is
Yeah,
a drone
yeah. Harry's in the next race after me. I'm glad I'm not in his race.
He was on this basically.
And I'm glad I'm not in this guy's race. Top 5.
Basically, my whole reputation is on it.
Yeah, that's
Your employers are watching.
All the clients are watching.
Also, I want to address Crimey's point in chat, wondering why Seco Nova's times didn't add up. That's because the first lap is not a full lap. Only laps 7 through, or only laps 2 through 8 are full laps. Lap 1 is a partial lap.
Yes, does it start towards pylon 4, pylon 5 or something, does it?
Yeah, I think pylon 4 is around where it starts.
Yeah, because there's that long straight between pylon 3 and pylon 4. What do they call that? I can't remember. They call it something valley, don't they? I
The
can't
Valley of
remember.
Speed.
There we
because
go, the
it's
Valley of
downhill, so you
Oh.
trade potential energy for kinetic energy.
Wally's
Right,
not at the
looks
top
we've
like
got
he
our
predicted.
timings. Wally's not. No, Wimmer is. There we go. Within the 58
Whoa,
seconds
Wally
as
with
well.
the last place qualify. He's sandbagging it, is what
Wow.
he's doing.
Oh, yeah, that's it. He's sandbagging Mercedes' early strategy back in the old days when Mercedes were actually somewhat decent. Sandbagging during the practice sessions. Okay, right. Well, we'll see whether that tactic, if it is a tactic, or whether maybe it's the pressure. Maybe it's the pressure of the scenario that caused that last qualifying place. But CD, your prediction, that's not exactly the start that maybe you were thinking they were going to be getting onto.
Yeah, here we go. Race number 2.
I don't know if you've got any more questions. All we need at the start is it's lights out and away we go. I know I should be like getting my inner Crofty and inner F1 commentators going with this one. Maybe not. Maybe
Chewy, I'm impressed by your commentary skills right off the bat.
It's weird actually. It's quite natural. It's weird how after 6.5 years off, however many years it's been since I last did it, that it comes in. Anyway, right, we're off. Off the blocks, here we go. I'm getting back into the swing of things now. We're only 30 seconds into it. We're coming into the first full lap of the race, as we talked about. It starts on that half lap. Ori looking pretty good. Wimmer, who qualified in first place, still in first place at the moment, with Wally still in last place, CD. So your pick for this race still in last place. We'll see how
Oh, okay, so it's Wally that's at the top.
I would not have predicted this at all.
Oh, Wally.
He knows he's just chilling at the back at the moment. He's actually, everybody else is pulling away from the pack, and I've got to say, it looks like a gaggle of geese there, all as they approach.
No, you didn't miss it. 2 more races. I'm race 4. This is race 3. Race 2.
And just planted their P51 Mustang into the dirt, so they're going to put themselves firmly in last place now, and that's probably that wake turbulence that we were talking about, right? They maybe got distracted by other aircraft near them, got distracted by wanting to turn.
Taking 30 minutes before my next meeting. Yeah. It actually.
I have to say it's a bit of a shame that we can't hear them because
it actually might not start by then, or be around that time.
And the sounds are beautiful, so maybe we'll get Jane to make some Rolls-Royce Merlin engine sounds.
Yes.
That sounded like Chewbacca.
That is the best I can do.
Was this your attempt at it, Jane? Is that what you're trying to do with the Merlin engines?
Whose line is it anyway?
Wonder if he's ever considered being a horse race announcer.
From Lord Voodoo. So that's going to put him back.
The
And I mean, you can see with how
Kentucky Derby.
just a single pylon cut.
But look at Wally's still in the back, and he's top 5 in the world.
I mean, steady, qualified in first place.
The world.
Not having to worry about that wake turbulence that we talked about so much. Just kind of chilling out the front. They have got a lead over Colby Bear at the moment. It's pretty close, but you know,
Maybe he went racing. He got one of his friends to get online also, and they did the multiplayer lobby. So because they're the only 2 on the server, it matches them together.
Well, I know
One always loses, and then he always wins. Top 5 easily.
On the leaderboard right now. I know last I checked, he was top 5, possibly even like top 3 maybe. I'm sure Harry knows for sure exactly who the
Johnny
top
Funds'
10 were.
pylon cut saved them from finishing last, so thanks.
Oh, there we go. I have to make a request to Tom, who is doing a very, very, very good job with his camera.
Yes.
I have to say, I think he's still in a job after this one. Maybe when we get towards that kind of like 7 minutes.
Am I nervous? No, I'm not nervous. It was just the
like a top down.
The races finish.
just trying to practice beforehand. I'm glad I did, because joystick not working.
Yeah, sure.
Then I went to the Velocity 1, then I went back, recalibrated, blah, blah. Then I was like, well, wait a sec, I got this. I got this PS4 controller, so then I use that.
Now, the camera view we're looking at now, like the overhead view looking down, they have at the real Reno Air Races, they have race marshal planes that will fly above the track like this, you know, looking for penalties and making sure there's, you know, proper safety procedures are being followed. And at Reno, if you're there, they're usually in T6 Texans, and of course it's a 2-seater, it's a trainer. they do raffles, and you can win a raffle to watch the real Reno Air Race from that perspective in the backseat of a T6.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I was watching some videos just in the kind of prep for this, and like, you know, it's all cool seeing it in the simulator, but the real thing as well, I know both of you are very jealous. You know, you've been and actually seen the event in person, so along with all of your other events. That
Come
you're
on
looking
out,
at
Chewie.
attending.
Including
So,
when we were
I
just
know,
at last
I know.
week.
Oh, lazy fool. Deary me. Very close indeed, very close. I love this. I think everybody was talking about, somebody was joking in chat earlier on about the strategy for this. It's just go fast and turn left. Having participated in the Reno Air Race stream just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, give Chewie the job as the announcer.
Than just that's for sure. There's quite a lot you've got to think about. Energy management and all sorts of different things. Turning in at the right time, angles and all of that crazy stuff. Kind of biding your time on when to make the move on somebody. But it's very difficult when you've got somebody like Wimmer who's out the front here and just, you know, taking it steady. He's not getting phased with the fact that he knows that Coldie Bear is right on his tail. He's just chilling, consistent lap times by the looks of things. But this is really close. Obviously, we've had the pylon cut from Voodoo and, you know, Lazy Fool who's planted it into the deck a few times. But overall, this group.
Oh, okay. It's because there's Peter in the race 3 lobby.
Really much of a difference. There's not really any
But
standout
race 4 right now, we're only 5 of us, so it's
they're doing a grand job with it. We're already 5 minutes.
it's actually better odds for me.
Decide our winner. And actually,
20% chance of winning.
Wimmer has relinquished the lead. It's the commentator's curse. It was going to happen today. I knew it was going to happen today. It always does. The commentator's curse comes in after me talking about how Wimmer was taking it.
Oh, Wally's up to 3rd.
They have been phased because Coldie Bear's taking the lead.
And Chewie,
And I think they got one lap.
A former professional esports commentator when you can make segues like that. Speaking of winners.
It's so weird, actually. I haven't done this
Okay, so he did esports commentating before. Okay.
But the segues just come straight back to the brain, I guess. But, it's the art of filling time as well. Basically, I just don't shut up.
Chewie's strategy works for NASCAR. Yeah.
This is good. It's a good race so far. I think it's going really well. It looks like we've got one more lap to go, so this should be moving on to the last lap. Again, Coldie and Wimmer, neck and neck. It's going to be very, very
No, he's just top 5
You've got to remember, we've talked about it before,
in Reno Air Races.
Spot. So whoever comes in second place, so there is still a chance that they're going to be competing in the grand final next week if they do get the fastest time out of all the second place races today. And it's gone back and forth again.
Oh, Wally's sketching up.
Going through the Valley of Speed towards pylon number 5. They have taken the lead again here, and
yeah,
he's a professional drone.
That's what I was saying is Wally just went to race with one of his friends, and they were the only 2 on the server, so they kept racing against each other, and the friend would always lose, so then Wally would just rack up the points.
Time, CD, 3rd place, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
I don't think there's enough track left. I think he's definitely had some fast laps, but he's going to run out of race before he can catch the 2 leaders.
We did get a pylon cut from Lazy Fool, so now 2.
Oh, look at how close
Oh my god!
Oh,
wow!
My goodness, yes.
Wow.
That was so good. Right, we've got to do this camera angle for the rest of the races. There we go. Esports commentator and camera director. There we go. I'll take that role. And very well done. Simtom, I think you did an amazing camera drone operator. We'll hire you again in the future, I'm sure.
I'm ready
we're going
to
to see
sign
the
off already.
times and the results screen here in a moment, but we do know that with a 3rd place finish, Sopwith Wally has been eliminated. Can no longer even get that wildcard spot. And that, to me, is the upset of the match so far.
Wow, Wally is out. Not even wildcard.
To our top 2.
He's completely out.
Past the finish line, neck in neck.
And I have to say, great job with Lazy Fool as well there, and Lord Voodoo. You know, pylon cuts, maybe a few crashes into the dirt, but kept going, and that's the kind of the spirit of the Reno Air Races as well. You know, I'm sure they probably knew relatively early on in the race, especially with early pylon cuts, that their race was technically over in terms of their prospects to progress, but they still had fun. They joined in, they raced until the very end. It looks like everybody completed the race, so that's exactly what we want to see. And really close racing, especially between Wimmer and Coldie Bear there. The lead went back and forward a little bit during the last few laps of the race, but Wimmer overtaking the lead and confirming their spot in the grand finals next week alongside
coming to race 3 and then it's race 4. I think I'll play the
So
It was like
Sunday,
a
I told you about how he's put
burp,
some places
hiccup,
hard to
and
pronounce names.
I don't know what else all at once.
Look at the
Look at
total
those timings.
Oh my god.
Time.
Well, Cole,
Wow.
I'd be disheartened that you were only out by about 0.3 of a second.
Less than 0.3 of a second. But Coldy Bear's got the wild card right now.
Of the wild card place, and it's Coldy Bear now in that wild card spot. So
Wow.
really great racing there. You can see the top 4 only split by.
But yeah, what I was gonna say is I think I'll keep this on for after mine. We'll watch right till the end, race 6.
Jane, I've got updated standings.
There might actually be a runoff.
2 winners, and Coldy Bear, who, if Coldy Bear had been in the first race, would have had the winning time. So it just goes to show you there's some quality of competition that goes into this as well. That's why we have that wild card spot.
If Sizzler makes the next round, while
I love that. I think
Wally
that's
failed to qualify,
as you say, it's got
the
that
group
chance to go through. But there we go. Congratulations to Wimmer.
group fit will be one huge celebration. The group flight will be. They're coming soon. Yeah. This is race 3. That's going into qualification.
4 more races to go.
While Peter sets up for the next race, I'm thinking we should do a Reno DLC giveaway because.
Oh, Reno DLC giveaway.
So I think we should.
I don't need that. Thank you.
Jane, is this the base package for Reno?
This is the base package. Yep.
Base
Retail
package,
price
okay.
at $20. You'll get 4 starter aircraft that you can fly, plus of course the like
Can
to
I
enter?
enter?
Definitely enter. No, you're not. We already got it.
Now, I do want to point out, Jane and viewers, please do not enter if you already own Reno. You can't get it twice. You know, it does you no good. So give the opportunity to people who don't yet own the Reno Air Racing Mode.
Come on.
Exclamation point ticket space 1. Everybody gets 1 ticket. All fair chances.
Surprised Wally did to make it
Ocean Bacon
perform
is
better.
saying, give
You'd
me
think
flight
camels
free. Well, Ocean
would
Bacon,
thrive in the
I'm glad you brought that up
desert.
because you can subscribe to Xbox Game Pass, the best value in gaming, and get both Microsoft Flight Simulator and hundreds of other games that you can play fully a la carte as much as you want.
Hello.
Demos, they're not trial
Hello.
versions. These are
How's
the
it
actual
going?
100%
Hello.
Just looking at these times, I'm just like, I am way outclassed.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Great segment. Great segment.
I'm just hoping to have a good showing at this
Oh,
point.
I see a comment from chat here. Harry is saying Wally had issues with his VR that sent him back.
Wally had issues with his VR that sent him back.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a bit tricky
That's
to use
shitty.
during a competition.
Very
Right?
good point.
Any issues?
Now, I just want to
Well,
point out too,
Anyone
Lucky
here
for
using
me.
VR?
the Tobii Eye Tracker.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Psycho Nova and X Wimma,
I usually don't have
congratulations.
issues with
You'll
mine.
receive a
And
Tobii
if
Eye
I do,
Tracker qualifying for the
excuses
final.
are,
We've got,
you know,
5 more of those to give away.
whatever.
I was gonna say I'm also using it. I had been practicing out of VR, but I found that trying to look to the pylons was just nearly impossible. So
Yep.
I usually don't have any problems with it, but I'm sure now that I've said something, that's gonna come back to bite me. So I guess we'll see.
Yep. I'll
go ahead.
I'll start to invite you guys already to the lobby.
Cool. I legit brought my gaming PC, VR headset, and flight controls to work with me.
Dedication.
I work in IT, and my office is locked. My coworker's not here. I'm like, fuck it.
I'm glad I did a little practice like half hour ago. My joystick didn't want to work.
Oh boy.
Went to the Velocity Flight 1 control. That wasn't it wasn't great. Then I went back to the Extreme 3D Pro. And
There you go.
It still
Working?
wasn't. No, it still wasn't. So then I was like, well, wait a second. I used my PS4 controller for like drone camera. I'm using that. I
Harry,
tried it out. I'm like, yeah, it works. It's just I couldn't move right or left. So, but with the
Weird.
PS4 controller, I was fine.
We've got a fan in this one. This is what we were
Wow.
talking about. We wanted some
Yeah.
supporters
Oh,
for the race.
I got a notification.
So it's good to see somebody
Ah,
coming
do I really want to do this? Do I click accept?
taking somebody on to try and win this one.
Hey, by the way, Tom, I overheard. Did they say you're commercial drone op?
Yeah, indeed.
Ah, same here. I play mostly FPV, so.
Oh, yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah,
I
it's a
just-
fun game.
I leave
I
that to
just-
my colleague. I'm like, you do that.
I just started working on my private pilot's license recently.
Also nice.
Yeah. Exciting.
I'm just so on brand.
Yeah. Jane, are you wearing a Flight Simulator shirt today?
I am. It's kind of like a homemade one from.
Oh yeah.
Invites are going out.
Yes. I'm glad we're all wearing the right shirts. Twitch.
Yesterday, Peter and me were
Alright, I'm
trying all the invites, and neither of us could invite each other to the same lobby. So we were like, "This stream is gonna go great." But so far, I could invite everyone. So
Right.
Oh, my word, so.
Have a chewy. Thank you. The winner is Cold Nebo.
And then
You
I
was
only
the big
need-
board here. I know that username for sure. Cold Nebo.
So you should all be
congratulations. I will DM you after
invited.
the stream is over, and I will get your gamer tag. Grant you no DLC.
It was funny. The one plane I'm not good at with this is the L39. I was like, man, I really hope we use the P51.
On the lobby for race number 3.
That L39 is silly.
Not great.
I'm probably the only one ever who likes to buy planes.
Yeah, you might.
Well, that race is gonna be painful to watch.
It looks like they're gonna go to our race first. They're having some issues in race 3.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Should we click ready to fly?
Okay. Well,
I'll switch
Tom,
channels.
how close are you to getting your lobby?
Good.
Hello. I think you're missing one or two.
I hear an echo. Now you know.
I don't think our last person ever showed up in the channel or gave his username, right?
Oh well.
Another giveaway. We're prepping both races 3 and 4.
Did you hear that sound? That's a
competition to see
one
which lobby is
of Hero Symphony.
We have. I might be ready because one.
That's fine.
Disqualification if you're not here at the appropriate time.
Well, good luck everyone.
Yeah, good luck.
Let's call it lobby 4.
Alright.
Alright, we've got Grim Reaper, who is a member of the Flight Simulator Thunderbirds, is in this one. We've got Flight Level 0, who could be mistaken, but I believe Flight Level 0 is Reno Air Race Discord server, where the real hardcore competitors hang out and set up races amongst themselves. So it could be a strong competitor. I don't recognize Ganyman's name, but it could be a dark horse candidate here. Sizzling Popcorn is someone else.
Is the most decorated plane of the T6 class.
Good luck, and then Austin rounding out the racers. So good luck to all the competitors. We'll see how this one goes.
Yep. So just as another reminder, this is so Jane on the leaderboard at the end. This is going to show us as lobby number 4, so there'll be a gap for number 3. Is that correct? Great.
That's
Just whilst we,
correct.
and then we'll move back to race number 3 later once they get themselves set up. So well done to race number 4 for being prepped and ready to go early.
Yeah,
this is the thing.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Live television.
so.
Anything can happen. Anything. Brilliant. Right. into-
Cough, cough.
Now it's time for our race mischief 7 8. We're here. 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 We're here.
right, here we go. Qualifying. Son of a gun. Here we go.
Yeah, the worst qualifying. That's what I've said. There's something that's going particularly wrong in any of the races today. Qualify behind without time.
Oh, look at Tom just showing off doing a slow roll.
Look at that.
Qualification.
Oh, so again, if you're just joining us and you're wondering what's going on and why you're seeing Tom practice with 51 here, so Tom's in the lobby as our camera operator races, and so essentially he's doing a qualifying lap just to basically enter the race and try to do it properly. I don't know if you're the competitors against the race actually begins. So ignore what you're seeing on the screen right now. It's just to allow the qualification time. So it should be about, it should be about 57 seconds, 55 to 57 seconds or so to the lap. So it won't be too long, and then we can move to Tom's amazing.
Oh.
Better than
and qualifying is a good way to see the track as well. Obviously, Microsoft Air Race expansion last November. The team spent a lot of time at Reno performing high definition scans not only of the aircraft but also the area, the pylons. We talked to the pilots.
No, this. I'm not used to this joystick. Oh man.
Crazy.
With trees. That one. That's the one where I'm with
I'm surprised they don't have like people who go out there like with like spray paint before the race and like, like you know, spray this one in this coordinate and that's the one I know that I need to turn over the top of or something like that. You know, I don't quite know if that would go ahead.
It could have been worse, yeah. Nice. Yeah. Oh, I'm starting behind some, Tom.
Oh, here we go. So, I think timers just came up on there. I don't know if it's my shot. There we go. So, flight level 0, first place. Look at those timings again. Super quick. And Sizzling P. I'm not too sure what happened there. Did they disconnect from the lobby?
Second.
Sure. Hopefully we'll actually see them in the race. Maybe something happened. We'll see. Hopefully they're racing. That's the most important thing. We'll find out in the race as we go. It's flight level 0.
hang out with some of the really intense Reno Air Race community. There's a great group of people. They're more than willing to share tips.
Come on.
Upcoming races.
Oh, son of a gun.
And I do see Sizzling Popcorn in the race, so that's good.
Brilliant, great. Well, that's good to know that they are in there. So, we'll just get the race started. We'll make sure
Tabana. All in the bin.
The back straight will call it. You're downward speed on the downward, right? Turning base in the Reno Air Race doesn't quite sound good.
Already doing this kind of work for them.
Oh, nice. We got. Oh, here we go. Now we can see things pretty close. It looks pretty close already. First lap just coming in, so they're just going to start that full lap now by the looks of things.
Me flying is
I love
going
it.
to be
I love
better.
it. Great. Flight level 0 is leading the race. He qualified for and they are still leading at the moment. Popcorn already.
I am having a.
They are certainly bringing up the rear. There are pilots behind at the moment. We're actually cheering them on until the end. But the other four races, flight level 0, we've got.
No, this is.
I'm trying to read it off again.
Come on.
I'm going to go with that. Austin,
Yeah.
all incredibly close. Punch up as before, and they're taking how long?
That is a great little shot right there.
Wow. I love it. Look at this great work. He's even got this matched up. Love it. Great work. Right. So, I don't know if that's the first full lap or the second full lap.
Well, this is like the longest thing of my life.
I can't even imagine doing this in real life. Like, it's Daredevil's then something. It's absolutely ridiculous. I was watching a video a bit earlier on. They've actually got communications, don't they, with almost like an engineer in the background talking about things, and stuff like whilst the race is going on. So there's quite a lot going on within the race series. It seems like there's a hell of a lot of competition. And I mean, if it looks this good in the sim, you can imagine what it's like in real life as well. It's like grid. I don't know if they crashed or something, but they just suddenly dropped back to the left pack. I don't know. It could have been a multiple thing there. It could have been a too high reset. It could have been an off-course reset. It could have been a hit the ground reset. I don't know. But they have fallen back slightly. However, it is still incredibly close between the three races you see on your screen now. Ganymede and Austin, who are right on each other's heels. Flight level 0 starting to pull away with this. This is the user that Steve stated was a member of the community of the Reno Air Race Series. Try and race lately with each other. Said they got their own Discord set up, and they certainly practice this quite a lot. It's starting to pull away from the rest of the pack now, so looking good. But as we saw in race number 1, anything can happen. The pressure can get on. See, you made some predictions earlier on for some potential race winners, and it wasn't true. So don't count on it yet. We've still got about 4 minutes left in this race before we find out how winner. That's why
I'm better at racing in cars than planes.
Simulator's looking good. Weather's a great day for flying. I mean, it's almost like manipulated by the nature to your will.
I love that it's asking you to pick down the price. So Chewy, going back to something you were talking about a moment ago, so this is something we discovered James and I when we were at last year. Safety is top priority, even in air racing. Safety coverage. And so all the racers are on the same radio frequency with each other. And if one plane goes into the blind spot of another, they'll say, you know, hey, I'm coming up behind you here at 5 o'clock or whatever, or you know, I'm attempting an overtake on this side. You know, so even though they are in competition with each other, they just want to have a good, clean, safe race. So there's constant communication with each other.
It's very interesting. When I was watching the video earlier on, obviously because in the unlimited class, they all have to line up in formation with each other to make sure that the race start goes successfully. Unlike some of the other classes where they'll take off and have split timings and everything, with the unlimited class, they all have to take off and form up with each other with a pace plan, basically. The pace plan is pretty cool. It's got like a white smoke and it puts the race into the paces kind of when it's turning into the race start and everything. Everybody's lined up. That doesn't happen within Microsoft Flight Simulator. It doesn't automatically start racing or anything like that. But it's pretty cool, like to see the amount of organisations that go to a race start. And it's another good race that we've got going on here. Flight level 0 just kind of chilling. Austin's keeping up with it, but I mean, it's going to be enough. It's trying to pull away from the other races in this one. Flight level 0 just kind of
Get it.
going through the paces almost in a rhythm, so to speak. We wonder with the Reno Air Race Series how much of that there is. Is there a rhythm that the pilots get into? You know,
I just don't get it.
Factors here, the unused real world pilots, fighter jet pilots.
Terms Reaper.
You don't actually get the force feedback. It's all based on visual references. So that's a big advantage that the real world pilots have got over us simulator pilots.
I understand how they're that much faster. I don't get it.
Mute yourself so that you don't have to let everyone else know how you feel.
No, I meant the red arrows, which was pretty crazy. Yeah, that was a pretty wild one with some cool stuff in Microsoft Flight Simulator actually. So I left that as a bit of a surprise for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I didn't tell them we were going to be using that, so we did it. But yeah, that was a good one. It was very fun.
We have a couple developments in chat. We have a chat viewer asking if there is mid-air collisions, and the answer to that question is yes, there is. But that's a toggleable.
Toggle.
So that you can toggle on and off.
Yeah.
And for the purposes of our racing, we have toggled that off. So there is no mid-air collisions in the Reno Air Race Series. But if you're playing on your own, you can turn that on. The second comment is really directed to James. Full Hugo is apologizing, saying they already owe
this is it. Flight level 0 led the entire race, qualified in first place, led the entirety of the race. Austin is very, very close, kept up with him and given him a tough race throughout the entirety of the time. Tom set up at the finish line here as the crew gets ready to come through. I think this is the end of it. It should be pretty much soon. I would have thought this should be the final few coming in here. And in flight level 0 takes first place. Austin in second.
Nice job, fellas.
Great race.
I don't get it. I don't get it with these airplanes. Are you guys playing with the prop angle at all?
Yes.
Okay. Like, what, just out of curiosity, what are you doing with it? Like, what angle? Like,
3300 RPM.
yeah, that's what I'm sitting at the whole time, and I don't get it.
And also sharp turns at 4, 6, and possibly 3. That's at least my pick.
Fair. And I'm just like, I don't get it. Oh well.
Oh,
Nice job.
great race.
I want to set this up as
Fun, guys.
esports. I'm in this now. I've spoken on live stream for years about flight simulation esports and how that would work. We should have a full league. I think we should have promotions and relegations and professional sponsored teams. I think we should do that.
Thanks, March, for the super chat. Made us proud, and I got bingo after one lap.
33, I'm afraid, does not knock off Coldy Bear's 732.
Let's bring the
732 189 moves on to the finals next week.
I think that's another thing to note, actually. Very quickly, we're talking about quads. Not everybody who's racing in this series is racing on PC, and that's the great thing with Reno Air Race Series, right? Obviously, Microsoft Flight Simulator and the Reno Air Race Series is available on Xbox, and so some of our races, we've got cross-platform esports going. Pretty darn cool.
Yeah, thanks, March, for the super chat. There was like a bunch of stuff going on here. He still gets. Told you. Then the accountant have you just talk. Yeah. Still ahead of Simtom. Ready for me asking CDL to brag? I just asked. I think he just like.
But that was lobby number 4. So thank you to them as well for being ready and willing to go as soon as we needed them to. So brilliant.
Well, and Peter, I believe we're ready now for race number 3.
Oh,
Yes, we actually are.
You kicked Simtom's tail, yeah. It's a drone shot, so he will always be last. Well, he was in first. He was in first, like the first couple of laps.
Yeah, we got a bit of a ringer in this race. Blue Yonder is a member of a real-life Reno Air Racing team. He's not a pilot. Well, he is a pilot, but he's not a Reno Air Racing pilot. But he's a member of the ground crew for the Outlaw Racing team who compete in the Formula 1 class.
A Formula 1 class? Wow. So which one is Harry?
anything like his landings, then we're in for a treat.
No, this is race 3. Harry's in the next one. Because they did us first before third. Because I had an issue with third.
We would call it to Kenko here, who's a very, very dear friend. So if it seems like, why is this commentator picking on this poor pilot? Don't worry, we're friends. He knows it's only banter going between us, but he's also a fellow streamer as well. Kenko's a really great guy, and I'm sure he's going to give it his all. Even as I say, if he did come into my chat earlier on and say, I'm not really practiced or anything. Maybe
so this is the rematch.
Maybe it's bone idly.
Not a rematch. Just this is race 3.
Go ahead, hit that ready to fly button, and let's jump into Good luck to our competitors.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like,
again, just as another reminder, I'm going to remind everybody on every single race, just in case there are new people tuning in.
You pretty much need to practice and practice.
So we won't know what the qualification live timings are until all of the races
To really get it, because they're It's not even the prop. It's something inside the plane. The prop angle.
Fastest time starts in first place in the race, and then it goes back from there. But as we've seen so far, not everybody who is qualified in first place is guaranteed to finish in first place. So don't treat that as a done thing that if you qualify in first, you're going to finish the race in first as well. That's the beauty of it. But it's
not
a
like
pretty
Monaco
cool setup.
in that respect.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, it's a
No, I'm done with it. I'm done with this.
I'm looking for, I don't know why, I've got a feeling that this could be the race of all races. I feel like, you set up Blue Yonder there, talking about his real world experience. We've got streamers, we've got some maybe unknown dark horses who might be out to catch the others. So I don't know, I feel like this is going to be a good one.
No, but what I mean is I'm done with the Reno Air Races DLC, period.
So Jane and I met Blue Yonder at the Reno Air Races last year in real life.
Yeah.
He had done something really cool in the hangar area where the Formula One pilots and their crews were maintaining their aircraft. He had the skeleton.
I want to see how the rest of these guys do.
Planes, and he had real aircraft control, like genuine aircraft controls, hooked up to a laptop running Microsoft Flight Simulator and with a VR helmet. And you could sit in a real plane and fly around the Reno Air Race Track in Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Is that what he's doing right now? If he's not using that setup for this, I'm going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah.
Sorely disappointed.
And it was before Reno Air Racing came out, so I think they made their own.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so cool.
Fine, let's work on beating my Top Gun scores. That's more like it. Top Gun scores over Reno Air Races.
A profile about Lilo. He is a quadriplegic flight simmer from Italy, and his friend Roberto has made him a set of controls that allows him to fly a plane using only head movements. It's
amazing.
really impressive.
Wow.
So welcome in, Lilo. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, Lilo, another regular viewer and a very good friend as well. So great to see you. Thank you for the host. Welcome. You join us halfway through the Reno Air Race Series preliminary round live stream. We've had 3 races so far, 3 more to go, and qualifying has finished with this one. It looks like we've still got some things going on. Hopefully, Flyby is going to get things sorted and is able to complete their qualifying session. Daz also, I don't know if there was a disconnect or a crash issue or something like that. Hopefully they're going to be in the race as well. But Nixon taking first position there, just about 0.3 of a second above Real Highway. Blue Yonder, the person we've been talking about with their real world experience, 3rd place. And then
3rd place. Every time they pitch someone as like they're like the favorites, the qualifying they're like at the back or middle, like they're not at the top.
Gaz and Flyby will be able to join us, and that will work out for them to get things going. We're about to find out. Again, just for the start of the race, we're going to have Peter basically pause his aircraft and move out the way of the race line and get set up with the drone camera. So don't worry if you miss the first half a lap or so for this race. You'll be able to join us for most of it. We're expecting about 7 minutes and 40 seconds for a race so far. Around about that mark. 7:31, 7:33, isn't it? So pretty good times from everybody. Right, here we go. The race is about to begin.
And it does look like everyone made it in, so that's good to see.
Good. Oh, we've got Mr. B777 here. Hello, Benny. How are you? Good afternoon. Welcome. Good to see you. Benny, who was controlling some real-world P51s here in the UK just a few weeks ago in an event. Yeah, indeed. Right. So Peter's going to get set up, then we'll be ready to go, folks, and we'll get this one going. Look at that. He's got it down to a T. Let's get the race started. It looks like Flyby's already missed a pylon, unfortunately, and is dropping back from the pack. Hopefully, we'll see if they can catch up on this one, but we're underway. The first lap hasn't even concluded yet, and it looks like the pack are already still in good order with each other. And Blue Yonder, we were talking about them earlier on, they qualified into 3rd place, already made up 1 position on Real Highway, now into 2nd spot. Nixon, who did qualify in 1st position, still in that place, but again, qualifying in 1st is not guaranteed that you finish in 1st. We've still got about 7 minutes left to go on this race, so anything can happen as the riders, the flyers, the plane drivers, whatever you want to call them, head down the valley of speed towards pylon number 5 now. Right, See how they do. So who have we got? Yeah, it's still Nixon at the moment, isn't it? Still Nixon in first place. Unfortunately, Flyby with a second pylon cut, and we talked about it at the start of the first race there. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen, you've got those 5 white... Oh, it's all right, just a momentary second. You've got those 5 white circles there, 2 of them being filled in by Flyby. You can have 5 pylon cuts within a race. If you have 5, you are disqualified from it. So that's what those circles are over on that side. There's also other things as well that come into play. So height, you've got to stay below 250 feet AGL throughout the entirety of the race. If you start to drift above that, you'll get warnings. Obviously, you've got to stay on the track as well. You can't cut inside. You can't go straight across the track sideways or anything like that. You've got to pass those pylons on the right-hand side of each of them. Looks like we had another pylon cut, Real Highway, with their first pylon cut as well. Oh dear. Oh dear, the pressure's getting to some of these racers.
You know, Chewy, you were saying anything can happen. I'm reminded of the great Murray Walker, who famously says, in racing, anything can happen, and it usually does.
Air stud.
There we go.
Just bore my crash helmet.
To the Reno Air Races, absolutely.
Sometimes asking me what happened. I'm like,
Enko's now got a pylon
crash on quali and a couple of crashes.
He should have got that practice in. Let's see how they do. We've had more pylon cuts on this race than I think we've had almost combined.
Wow.
The other races going on.
Yeah, 3 pylon cuts.
I said earlier on that I thought this was going to be the race of all races. I was trying to hype them up, but commentators go, just blame me. Just blame me. I won't do it again. Don't worry. But Nixon, first place in the qualifying, still going very strong at the moment, still leading the pack. I think Blue Yonder's going to give them a fight, though. They are what looks like about a second or so behind them at the moment, but we've already seen it so far.
Speaking of Top Gun, we can make it an extremely hard challenge to beat my score in the low flying competitions. Winner gets a kudos from me.
Going into menus halfway through a race and all sorts, so who knows what
Or
Yep, and for those wondering, this is the
if I ever beat your score, I then make it into a short.
So there's only 2 real rules that you have to follow, and that's that it has to be powered by piston engines and it has to be driven by propellers. Outside of that, this is a great class for modders, right? So
it's the anything goes class.
Anything goes.
It was also interesting, Jade, because it is the anything goes class. When you and I were in Reno, and we were talking to a lot of the pilots from every class, the biplane guys and the T6 guys, they were all really friendly and forthcoming, and they were sharing all kinds of
Airstud,
their setups.
You do it.
Pilots, they were kind of holding it a little bit closer,
and then I take it.
Want to give away any
you do it with my username, then I take the screen, the video, and do it. No.
A little bit, but we've not gone into too much detail. So within the Reno Air Race Series DLC, you can actually make it. So obviously, as you say, it's an unlimited class, so you're going to have particular aircraft. This one that Nixon Rider's flying right now, this kind of all-white P-51 livery, is Voodoo, which is the fastest P-51 to have ever flown, as far as I'm aware. Setting
it's actually the fastest piston engine plane.
There we go.
All types. It's
over 500 miles an hour, right? A
wow.
Ridiculous speed that they set. And so in the Reno Air Race Series DLC, if you actually download those individual aircraft, it will match the real-world characteristics of those aircraft. So some of the paint schemes, even if you might like the look of the paint scheme, they actually might be slower than some of the other ones. So have a look at those. However, for today's races and throughout the Reno Air Race Series, it won't matter. All of the aircraft are all standardized, so it doesn't matter what liveries and paint schemes the flyers.
I can stream it on your Discord, and we can make it a beat Airstud score.
So that shouldn't be a problem.
It's not pay to win. I want to point that out.
Yes, it is not pay to win.
The base 1999 package or the full collection.
Johnny Fun 101. Miss Virginia is slow, but she is my girl. All right.
I'm a little bit worried about.
Oh, sorry. Black and Bruno says Nixon's secret is a lot of sim time.
A lot of sim time, that's it. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. I'm wondering if by this point, Flyby is actually just doing a flyby and just taking in the views, because for the first time in the Reno Air Race Series, this tournament, we've actually seen a lap, blue flags.
Oh, yeah.
Got a lap.
Flyby does get lapped by blue.
Oh, good thing I didn't get blue flagged.
Now, we've only got about 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, in fact, about 1 minute and 30 seconds to go before this race. So about a lap and a half left on this one. Again, the flyers, the racers making their way through that valley of speed. Nixon passing pylon number 5 to number 6. And again, I've used this word before. I'm going to use it again. It just looks rhythmic, doesn't it? They seem to be in the zone. They seem to know what they're doing. They seem to be able to get their angles correct, seem to know how to carry their energy between those pylons. It's not just a case of flying straight between the pylons and then turning left. You've really got to time things right. Look at how close they push it there to that pylon. It's not exactly something for the faint-hearted, and definitely takes some skill even in the simulator. But it looks like the pilots are all warmed up now. During those opening few laps, we had quite a few pylon cuts. They seem to have calmed down on that a little bit, which is good to see.
Figured it out.
We're already in the final lap.
Trial and error sometimes.
Here we go.
So
Let's
I'm
see.
just, unless Nixon makes a mistake here, I don't think Blue Yonder has got enough race laps to catch him at their current pace. However,
Yeah,
there's still that
they're gonna
wildcard
struggle.
spot in play.
Yeah. They are indeed.
7:31.8 is the time to beat.
7:31.8. Right, Peter's going to get hopefully set up with the finish line so that we can see the racers all cross if he can find it. It looks like he's going on his own flyby at the moment. We'll see. There we go. He's found it. He's found it. There we go.
Yeah, 4th and 5th are real close.
Our drone operators /
Actually going back and forth.
Peter and Tom are doing a great job this evening. So
Oh, Blue Yonder with an X.
There we go. With,
So Nixon Rider's gonna take it.
Racers cross the line. Blue Yonder has made a pylon cut on the
Yonder.
final view.
No.
On the final view, that could really change things up. Nixon qualified first, led the entirety of the race. Absolutely classic racing, brilliant job. But this is what we mean. It's not over until it's over. Look at all.
Yeah, it's never over till the end.
That should mean that Gaz potentially now is going to finish in second place, technically in 4th. In terms of where they finished in positioning, but with those pylon cuts, that's going to change things up here on this one. But I mean, that was just, you know, textbook from Nixon. Made it look easy. If only we could all race that well. So congratulations to them, Nixon, confirming their spot as racer number 4 in the grand final series. And we're going to see about Gaz now. I think with those 16-second time penalties for all of the other racers, at least 16 seconds for all of them. Gaz is going to move up into that second place spot.
Flyby with 4.
Despite all of your pylon
Ouch.
for continuing on the race and still giving it a good effort. Well done,
You know,
everybody.
and I want to say full respect to Blue Yonder. He was going for it at the end. He was making aggressive
he kind of
turns
had to,
try
right? Kind of had to. It was almost do
was
or
almost
die
there.
there at the end.
It was the high risk, high reward strategy. So respect for that, even though it didn't pay off in this particular instance.
Well done, well done. Kenko, stick to the airliners, mate. Stick to the airliners.
You say the nerves are real, so was it?
So 4 races are done, 2 more to go. Next one should be Harry, this Harry guy. Not Harry, but Harry.
Look at that.
People are watching.
This is exactly it. So
is.
Gaz, Gaz, you know, 4th place finish, but technically second because of the pylon cut. So a time of 7:46, unfortunately, isn't going to move them into that wild card positioning. It is only going to be Nixon Ryder.
Yeah, because I think wild card is 7 minutes and 30. Yeah, 31.
Look at these times that we've got from these races.
Wow.
7:33, 7:31, another 7:33, 7:32. Coldy Bear with that wild card spot, with actually the second fastest time on our 5 races there. So, you know, for these last 2 races, race 5 and 6, it's going to take some beating from whoever finishes in second spot to try and knock Coldy Bear off that wild card spot. It's still all to play for, though. So I'm very excited to see who does it. But there we go. We've got 4 confirmed names through. Coldy still on the edge of their seat about whether they're going to make it through. And a couple more places to fill, but it's looking good. It's heating up.
This is great.
It's heating
Rocket
up.
Glider and Psychonova confirming how intense and nerve-wracking it is doing the real deal.
I've just put up on my screen. This is a photo I took at the real air races last year. This is the start-finish line. Look how closely it resembles the version in the sim. Even has the same sponsors, no less. And this is a racer from the T6 class, obviously finishing their race, crossing the finish line.
Amazing.
Yeah, very, very impressive how accurately the real Reno race course is rendered in Microsoft Flight Simulator.
So
That's what we love
we're
about it.
deciding here if we're going to do race 5 or 6 first, since we switched it up. Peter is currently creating some private match.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
Let's
because
see
Peter
who's-
did that
let's
last
see
one,
who
so we might switch
finishes.
to number 6
We'll
first.
see.
That's fine. Great stuff. Great stuff. Race 7 needs to be all the announcers and camera guys. So, Psychonova, obviously a few weeks ago, we had kind of like a content creators and things race, which went very well and was definitely quite a bit more tense, and there was a little bit more banter being thrown around because we were all on voice on live stream against one another. I blame my 4th place finish on a migraine. So that's my excuse.
The entire stream.
I shouldn't have done. I woke up and I felt so bad the next
You did
morning.
it anyway.
I felt awful, but it was worth it. It was so worth it for the Reno Air Races. Got to fight through the migraine. In fact, on that note, he's not really spoken about it yet, but CD is fighting through a little bit of an illness himself. So anybody showing some appreciation for CD, who I think is doing a marvelous job at making sure that everybody's ready to go and commentating as well and everything. Whilst not feeling 100%. I've done my fair share of esports broadcasts whilst feeling under the weather, and it is not the nicest experience. So
Speaking of esports broadcasting, since you did that so much, I want to know a little behind the scenes look at what it was like to be a caster, both on screen and off the screen.
Yeah,
you've mentioned some funny things earlier.
Yeah, so we were speaking about this off camera earlier on. So Jane's dropping me right in it now is basically what she's doing with that question. So there's a lot. What I'll tell you guys and girls in the chat is that there's a lot more things that happen on television off camera than you can see on camera. That's for sure. The amount of times that I did professional broadcasts whilst wearing a suit jacket, a tie, and everything like that, and was just in my boxer shorts below the table where the camera couldn't see me, it's quite scary. So those kind of things, happen all the time.
Yeah.
There's also bets and things like that. You have little competitions within commentators. So I remember I was at one event and the goal was for the commentator to try and speak about as many fruits as possible, or to the name of fruits as possible. And this was also, I was talking about professional Call of Duty. Not exactly an easy thing that you can try and just drop things in there. So you have all sorts of fun, all sorts of games and stuff like that to try and keep things interesting and keep things on your toes and stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes when I got client meetings, it's like a shirt and shorts. You don't see the shorts.
Let's jump in. Sim Tom will be observing race 6 coming up right
Okay,
now.
so going with race 6 and then 5 will be the end, and that's where
right, we got some names.
Here he
we
is.
Go. Oh, we don't have some names. We did have some names. There we go. Hidden Attribute, Pedasux, Matt Bold, Sleeve Zipper, Chili Gribble, and Carl H. I hope I pronounced those correctly. If I haven't, I sincerely apologize, but you should choose names that are easier to pronounce.
I mean, really, it's your own fault, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. That was always my thing. If ever I used to have somebody come up to me after an event and say, "Dude, you commentated over 5 of my matches and you pronounced my name wrong on every single one of them," and I'm like, "Well, why didn't you just choose Bob or George or something that anybody could be able to pronounce easily?" So. Yeah,
so 2 years ago, when I first got into Twitch streaming, I had been using the same username online for going on 20 years. And I decided if I'm going to do this and make a go of it, I should probably pick something that's a little bit easier to pronounce, a little bit, not able to have people get it wrong or anything like that. And people often ask me, where does my username come from? It's actually my initials. My real life initials are CDL, Charlie Delta Lima. And that's where my username comes from.
Well, there we go.
Clever.
I thought like CDL was like something about piloting.
Because I have an exceptionally hairy chest. It's not quite my interest.
I'm sorry, but I think I take the losing spot here when it's just my name.
Yeah, but you're quirky because you spell it with a Y instead
yay,
of,
I'm so quirky.
so really quirky on that one, really quirky. Right, we've got in the chat, Psychonova saying, Chili Gribble is a beast.
Ooh.
Watch out for Matt Bold and Chili to duke it out. Okay. So we got some competition.
Thanks,
We got
Psycho.
some people.
Yeah, all right. This will be interesting.
Here. So we'll see. We'll see about that. Again, we're going through the qualification process now. Ignore the flying that's going on your screen at the moment. This is this Tom who's doing race number 6?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It's Tom doing race number 6. He's basically just ensuring that he's going to finish last in the qualifying whilst all of the other racers get their times in. I'm excited to see this one. I'm going to be paying close attention to what these lap times are for this. If we've got Psycho Nova, of course, being the winner of our first race today, who's already giving us some names to watch out for this race lobby number 6, technically this is.
Once again, I want to point out, great job by our 2 camera operators and observers today, Sim Tom and Peter. Thank you so much for doing it. They're the real MVPs. We would not be able to do the broadcast today without them.
I think it's always a thankless role, isn't it? Production and stuff like that.
Sure.
In professional broadcasting, never the face of it. You know, nobody knows your name normally. And
when
stuff
it
like
goes
that,
wrong, they're the ones to blame.
That's it. That's exactly it. It's always the producer's fault. It's always the camera operator's fault. Yeah, that's it. They lurk in the background and do all the hard work. But, so,
and that's also how they treat us, right?
Yep.
Well, the prizes, as we've said, again, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Tobii and Thrustmaster. All 7 competitors who qualify for the finals will receive a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. And in fact, in talking to our contact at Tobii, they're hoping to get those shipped out in time for you to use them live during next week's finals.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So we'll connect with you immediately following today's broadcast and get your mailing information.
Wow, that's gonna be quick.
That's awesome.
I think they got it to me like within like 2 days,
and
2-3 days.
As well is our other sponsor. The grand prize winner next week in the finals will receive a Thrustmaster Boeing TCA yoke and throttle.
I'm going to have it on the desk next week, like behind me on this setup here. I've got the wrong Thrustmaster hardware behind me, so I'll have that on the desk next week.
Nice.
Anyway, right, race has begun, so Tom's just going to get things ready and make sure that he's got his drone camera all set up, so please forgive the intermission screen here just whilst he gets that going. But it was actually Chili, who was one of the names that we were had our attention brought to, who qualified in first place on that race. I didn't actually see exactly where everybody else qualified on that one, so we'll see how we go, but I know that Chile qualified in first, so we'll see if they're able to hold on to that lead and how they go. Of course, it's going to be, is it 7.5 or 8.5 laps?
7.5.
7.5. Yes, it's 7.5 with the times, isn't it? So 7.5 laps. It's a 7.91 mile track. And here we go with 37 seconds into the race. And it's actually Matt who's taken the lead. Lovely work there by Tom.
Did you see how close those first 3 were?
Absolutely amazing. It looks awesome, doesn't it? So we've got Matt, Chili, and Pedesux. And actually, if you see on that right-hand side, the leaderboard is constantly changing between Chili and Pedesux. Look at it.
Okay.
It's going back and forward every few seconds here. Maybe this is the race lobby that we were all rating out for. It's incredibly close. We're already a lap into this.
Yeah. Oh, this is I like this drone shot here.
Is where things are gonna certainly
because they are close.
Racing speed. So let's see what they do. Chili was a name to watch out for. Matt's taking the lead on this one. Pedesux doing a great job keeping in there with the fight. Maybe drop back just a tad bit. We've got Hidden Attribute and Pedesux following 4th and 5th, and then finally Sleeve Zipper. Goodness gracious, in 6th on this one as they head through pylon number 7.
And look at that camera work. That is
amazing.
You know, just really immersive.
It is.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good indeed. Look at how close it is between these two. It's going to be interesting to see if they can keep this up. And this is the thing as well, because it goes on, you know, like, even though it's super close at the start here, it's going to be interesting to see whether they can keep it close like this, because it's all well and good them fighting back and forward just as they are at the moment. But can they keep it up? Now, something's gone on because Peda was up in 2nd place a moment ago, but they've dropped back to 4th at the moment. I'm not too sure what's happened there. And Chile has taken the lead back. Chile, of course, qualifying in 1st place on this race. They did drop behind Matt Bold for a moment, maybe try to pick up that slipstream. The danger of the slipstream, though, is wake turbulence. We've spoken about it before. Again, I'm sure we'll speak about it more so, but if you get in the wake turbulence of other aircraft, it is accurately modeled in the Reno Air Race Series, and it is gnarly. So you don't want that happening to you. But Carol H dropping up into, well, not dropping up, moving up into 3rd position now as Pedesux goes back to 4th. But the pack that was very, very, very close within that first minute or so is starting to stretch out across the course.
Yeah, on the topic of wake turbulence, now obviously in our qualifying round, we're doing unlimited class across the board. Next week in the grand finals, we're going to do all 4 classes: biplane T6, unlimited, and jet. The jet class in particular, the wake turbulence is really extra gnarly in that class. It's a huge advantage to get out to an early lead, so you're not contending with the wake turbulence of the pilots in front of you.
Look at this. This is interesting because not only are these two fighting for that first place, there's that wild card spot. Coldy Bear with that time of 7:31.8, I think it is at the moment.
That's right. Yep.
It's currently in that spot.
Oh, Matt's in the lead now.
Going to overtake that. These two are really going at it. Chile again qualified in first, dropped out of the lead for a moment with Matt, but then took it back again during that last lap. They've now dropped back again, but look at how close they are. I know we don't just want to concentrate on the two racers, but when these two are fighting for the lead and they are this close, look at how close they're getting.
Whoa, look at that overtake maneuver.
Almost clipped his wing on the floor there, it looked like. This is crazy. And the battle for third and fourth is pretty spectacular as well between Pedasux and Carol H. But unfortunately, Peda actually making a pylon cut there. We did miss that one, so they have dropped a pylon there. That's going to drop them back again. A 16-second time penalty added to your final time with every single pylon cut. So that's going to be difficult for Peda to try and come back from. But they're still fighting for this one, and they're moving away from the pack. We've got three racers at the back here. Sleeve Zipper, Carol H now dropping back to fifth. He was just in third a moment ago, and a hidden attribute as well. And they're pretty darn close. I know we're concentrating on those leaders, but look at these three in their close formation flying. It looks great. Look at that view. Amazing. And you can just see like the overall landscape, how it looks with the airport there in the background and everything. It looks absolutely phenomenal. So a beautiful setting. I can only imagine how amazing it looks in person.
So for this Reno Air Race Series, we are obviously simulating the race, but it'd be interesting to include the pylon racing school maybe in our next go at it, so we can have people race and practice together. I know they've been doing that, but if we set it up more pylon racing school like they do in real life, I think is a really great thing that they do in every June out here in Reno to get people prepared, learning how to fly safely, learning more about formation flying, everything to Reno Air Racing.
Now, one of the qualifications, Jane, to compete in the Reno Air Races, you must have a commercial pilot's license.
Yeah.
You are flying for money, and anytime there's money involved in aviation, you must have a commercial license in order to participate. Several of the pilots we met, some of them are retired now, and this is their hobby, which is pretty nice hobby if you ask me. But some of them that we met when we were there last year are active.
Well, what happens if
airline pilots?
Can you have your private pilot license and then just fly a couple of people and get paid, or you have to get commercial license?
A change of pace. This is looking really close. So Tom's doing a great job here. It's still neck and neck between Chili and Matt. They're doing an absolutely great job. And Peda, even with that pylon cut, is doing good. They're keeping up with it. The pack's not really too far split apart. They're all going down that valley of speed again towards pylon number 5, I believe it is. This is going to be super, super, super close. The leads actually changed once again. Chili and Matt going at it here. We've got about a minute and 20 seconds left until the race is finished on this one, and I cannot pick a winner at this point. There's no way of even trying to predict it. Look at their name tags. They're literally on top of each other as they go around the pylon. This is by far been the closest racing that we've seen so far, so late into the race. We're coming up to the final lap here, so this is going to be really interesting to see who takes the lead. It all comes down to this, folks. Look at how close they are. This is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it when racing's like this. It really adds to the tension. It certainly does. There's a close race going on between 4th and 5th there, between Carol H and Sleeve Zipper as well. Certainly not to forget them. And we've only had that one pylon cut so far. So here we go. 6 minutes, 49 seconds left on the clock. Down towards pylon number 5. Who is going to take it? Is it going to be Matt or is it going to be Chili? I think Matt's led the race for most of it.
Wow, this is going to be really, really, really close.
They go Matt with the inside line there. Chili trying to take it a little bit further out. Is he going to be able to get more of an angle going into number 6? It looks like Matt may have come out wide. Is he going to be able to pull through on this? It looks like he might still have it through. Tom is going to position the camera, ready to get set up for that final section here. We've got about 10 seconds left until we're going to be able to find out our winner for technically race number 6. This is lobby number 5, though. We've got one more race to come after this one. It looks like Matt's going to take it. What a race between these two.
Wow.
Matt followed in first. Chili coming in second. That race did not disappoint.
I wonder if Chili, if he was fast enough, if he got it under 31. I think it's the 32, 33. So I don't think he's got the wild card.
I'm wondering if Chili's gonna beat out Coldy Bear here.
We'll find out imminently. Absolutely, Coldy's going to be on the edge of their seat on that one. That was amazing. That really took me back to my play-by-play commentating days with that one. That was like edge of your seat stuff.
Put my thumbs into ice right now.
Your thumbs okay?
That camera work was artistic. Ooh. Absolutely artistic.
Yeah.
Really great job. Hope you're all enjoying the live stream, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We've got one more race to go today. Again, don't forget to join us for the grand finals next week. same time. So that's the 10th of August at 1900 UTC for the grand finals. So every single winner of each of these races that's going on today will progress to the grand finals, plus the fastest time from the second place finishers in this one. So hopefully we're going to be able to find out Chili's time and see if he is not Coldy Bear off. Let's have a look. It's a 7:29.
Wow. Wow.
At 2 seconds.
Timing,
That is huge.
Smashed everybody else.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Well,
That
my
has
apologies to Coldy
smashed
Bear, who has
everybody.
been holding on to that wildcard spot, now been knocked off. But Chili, what a fantastic second place finish. And of course, Matt, congratulations on your victory.
I have to say, very fair play to Coldy there, who says in the chat, I won't feel bad at all losing my place to either of those two. That is great sportsmanship. That's it. You know, you're just beaten by the better person on the day. You can't really complain. You certainly had an admirable time and held on to it for quite a while. But those are our first two races, sub 7 minutes and 30 seconds. We've got one more race to go. So Chile doesn't have very long to wait to see if they've qualified for the grand final. But that was absolutely
Wow.
Look at that. They are over 2 seconds faster than Matt. 2 seconds faster than Wimmer, who is the other fastest winner out of that.
Next week is.
But I think they all have different temperatures because it's all private races.
Well, and the thing for next week, we're not just doing unlimited class. We may have some specialists in the P51, but maybe they're not so hot at the biplane or the jets. We'll have to find out, or the T6, of course.
Absolutely. Oh, that was a great race. That really was. And don't forget, folks, we're not finished. We've got one more race to go. We've got technically race number 5 coming up. They were just getting their lobby set up, which is why we skipped to lobby number 6. Thanks to Tom and Peter, who have been kind of switching and swapping between the lobbies to make sure that everything is set to go. So I believe that was the last lobby that Tom is going to do his amazing drone camera operations for tonight. So well done, Tom. Great job. That was very, very good.
Everyone in chat, show your appreciation to Tom for the great drone camera operation.
You got any pizza emotes? Definitely those.
Yeah,
I do.
Pineapple on pizza one.
I even have Tommy emotes.
Brilliant. I love it. Great stuff. There we go. There's the emotes. That's what we like to see. There we go. The Tommy emotes.
All right. Peter, how's your lobby coming?
Oh, that's fine.
Well.
We've got. It wouldn't be an esports broadcast if we didn't have to fill.
Oh,
wow.
You know what? I can join Peter's lobby since there's always
Because
a spot extra.
this-
we can do some extra camera.
Okay, so every time Tom is doing a race, he gets all the compliments. That's awesome camera work and this and that. You guys literally repeat.
Wow, because race 5, there was like an argument that went on in Discord on the weekend between this terminal velocity guy and Harry.
When I'm the lesser player, but
They were actually randomly put into the same race.
But yeah, if you can shoot me.
And terminal velocity is not in the race.
because you will completely ruin my game.
So I don't know what's going on there. He's actually offline. I don't know if he's still racing, but not in the
Right? I think
Discord.
we get these two racing against each other at this rate.
Oh, but
Papa says you're the second best camera operator.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
Which is fine. Which is fine.
Don't forget to email Simple Traffic. Yeah.
Straight away, and he's been able to get in straight away, whilst Peter has been having some issues trying to get friend invites.
Oh,
going.
terminal velocity's
I've got your back, dude. I've got your
putting a message. What's the deal?
We still have one person missing. But he's also offline.
Did he ever respond today?
He did actually, and he also told me to send a friend request, but I can't. We sent him a friend request, but we can't get him. He may not know that we got a disconnect.
Well, what's Peter? What's the name? Maybe that person is watching and paying attention to chat.
His Discord name is Terminal Velocity.
Terminal Velocity. If you're watching, please make sure you join the lobby. We'll give you about up to 5 minutes, and then we'll have to get going with the race without you.
5? It's a long time.
Well, maybe
That is
3
not a
hours.
long time to fill on broadcast. That is
Yeah.
not. That is not a long
You
time.
go,
to-
"All right,
I'm
Chewie,
sure
go."
that-
I feel like I'm your secretary reminding me of
It's
the...
no problem.
Well, if we're looking to
No
fill, maybe I'll
problem
show
at
some additional photos from the real Reno Air Races
There we go.
when we were there last year. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. We've got a bunch of the L-39 Albatrosses from the jet class lined up, stacked, getting ready for their race, including this one, Blue
Lovely
Ice with the
paint.
Australian flag. That one is in Flight Sim. You can fly that very plane.
He's
what
in?
else do we have here?
He's in.
He's in. He's in. He's in.
Ooh.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Okay. Well, in that case,
Where's that?
Okay, so Harry
Sorry, Tom.
well,
Did you decide?
I would
and
like to invite Tom, but he's also gone from my friends list somehow.
Okay.
Really?
Is he just not like you?
Look at it, Tom. Here. See it. Where? See it. Where are you? Where are you, Tom? Where are you?
Well,
Eh?
okay. Fine.
Sorry, man. I would. I mean. Well, now that I think of it, you can.
This guy's
start
weird.
Setting up the final.
terminal
final-
velocity.
Why
Oh
not?
yeah.
Yes, you can.
President Slew is
Just
online.
letting the
Until
producers
afterwards.
here
Mr.
kind of go
Sizzling.
after each other.
Shall I tell
already
him
going to bed.
you're
They're not even on their
unavailable?
own content channel, they're
This is
just
the
doing
last
it
race
live
of the
on
day.
broadcast.
Yeah, that's what I
This
thought.
is.
This is
Yeah,
the
this
last
is
one, right?
unless
Oh, it
This
is.
is it.
unless there's a tie for the wildcard spot. If the second
would
place
be-
finisher in this race gets exactly 7:29.781, we will do a sudden death race off between those two. But I think
Could you
the
imagine?
probability of that is pretty low.
Could
Yeah,
you
that's
So
imagine?
anyway,
Very
enough
difficult.
talk. Let's fly.
All right.
Let's
Wow.
fly.
Terminal
Ready, guys?
velocity is Sonic
Everybody?
Ready,
Viz.
I'm good to go.
Especially
Right, so
you,
we've got-
Peter. Good luck.
All right, we've got
Greenway.
some great names in this one as well that I recognize. Talks
Okay, go on, who
Race,
do you
Harry,
recognize?
Dangerous Brian. My money, I think the money on this one is on Harry. I know he's
Okay.
part of that
You're
community as
jinxing 'em,
well,
you're jinxing.
but we'll see.
Sonic
We'll
Viz.
see.
All right.
Let's
Good luck. everybody.
go.
Brilliant.
I don't think Harry's gonna win.
Final race of the evening, folks. Let's make it a good one. If it can match that last race, I think it'll be pretty darn special. And again, final reminder on this one, just for the qualification purposes, you're just going to see one person's point of view, just going to see one of the camera operators' point of view just for the qualifying stage, and then we'll be able to see those final times, which determines where everybody starts for the race.
You guys,
We've got some
put up a
fans
show.
in the chat. We've got some fans in the chat.
Got
I was
Harry fans.
sweating. Like, oof.
Harry fence?
No.
Hairy
No.
fans.
You know,
I'm
Discord
just
is
waiting for the
every week.
banners, as I say. I'm waiting for, like, you know, the banners, the fangirls coming in and, you know, screaming names, asking for autographs and everything. I want the... If we're going to take Reno Air Race Series esports seriously, we've got to go the full 9 miles.
You gotta say hi to everyone? Say hi.
7.91 really, isn't it?
Well, it varies.
Got the,
air races, depending on
the fifth broadcaster of this.
track is different.
Commentator.
So the shortest track is used by the biplane class. There's a middle distance track used by the T6s, and then the jets and the unlimited class use the track we're on today, which is the longest of the three. So the Valley of Speed we talked about between pylons 5 and 6, that is only experienced by the jets and T6s. Sorry, the jets and the P51s, not the T6s.
Yeah. And the T6s, yeah. And here it is now. So this is what it looks like. So you can actually see on the screen now, this is the Valley of Speed area here. And you can see it's quite undulating. Like, the thing with the course that we've not really spoken about is the elevation changes. So obviously the rules stipulate 250 feet AGL is your maximum.
No, he's not a future Slew King. He'll fly the plane
So that
correctly.
changes depending on the terrain that you're flying over. So that's another thing that the pilots have to factor in throughout the race. It's not just a flat race course, and you can just kind of set your radio altimeter up and just kind of stick at that altitude, and you'll be fine with it. You've really got to watch out for things. So it's quite an interesting one. There's so many different factors that come into play here. But this is it. We're getting ready for it. We should be finishing qualifying hopefully soon. We've got, I don't know whether this is Tom or Peter who's coming up with
Peter.
with this.
Are we there yet?
So there we go. Look at that beautiful barrel roll, and we'll see what our qualifying times are. So Sonic, taking the first place spot,
Wow, a dark horse
58.890. Harry in
ahead
second.
of Harry and Tox Race.
Yeah,
who I thought were
there we
the
go.
top two.
Wow, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good because these guys they had a little kerfuffle in the
But we got
in the Discord on the weekend.
in place, ready to go. The crowd are all lively. Look at them in their seats. They're red.
All right, I'm going for this velocity terminal
Now,
velocity.
if you see on your
Sonic
screen,
Viz.
there's that pack of orange.
Who are you going for?
spectators
That plane?
in One section. They're all wearing orange.
That
t-shirts.
plane, all
That's
right.
a group from the Reno Air Race
You want to hear?
Section 3, and they've been meeting together at Reno since the early 1980s, and they come back every year. And they're the
Wow.
true, real, diehard Reno super fans.
Yeah. That's amazing. I'd love to
So
go
if
one
I
year. I'm sure
accidentally
it'd be
wear orange,
amazing.
where will they be? Hey, this way.
Yeah, join in. Or they'll just think you're Dutch. That's the other potential with that one for sure. Okay, here we go then. So the race has started and we are into the drone mode. Everything is going, and look at it. Sonic, they qualified in first. They've not kept the lead within the first 20 seconds though. Harry, who was the favorite in the
Man, Harry.
30 seconds into the race, they're just going to be coming around to that first pylon.
Fight.
Shortly, and things are very, very, very close indeed. So we've got Non-Small John third, Tox Racing fourth at the moment.
Oh, Sonic back! No, it's Harry. It's back to Sonic. Oh man, this is gonna be wild. Oh, Harry is actually losing some speed there. And we got the organ in the back playing.
Wow. Well, they're
Playing the fight song.
Chili has got a tight time to beat, but the way Sonic and Harry are neck and neck here off the first lap.
Wow.
That's it. And I mean, we've got to not count out Non-Small John. We've had various races, in the past today where somebody finished in fourth place actually ended up finishing in second because of pylon cuts and things. So, this is the thing. Sonic Viz here and Harry going at it.
Oh, and then non-small John is like right there.
Kind of letting them battle it out, trying to stay out of their weight turbulence, and maybe it's going to be the key to him starting to creep in on these guys, and we'll see if he can keep up with them. It looks like it's going to be these three who are taking that initial early pack.
Good thing there's no collisions. Imagine that. All three of these guys would be out.
Clean racing so far, pretty close between the two. Harry taking that lower line, that further inside line here. Sonic on the outside.
Harry in first. Oh, Sonic Viz back into third.
Come back from first place into third. I don't know what's happened with his aircraft, but Harry and John now battling at it in those first two spots as we switch to see how the other three racers are doing.
Nice,
Dreamwave
Peter.
there,
Nice
just
job,
towards
Peter.
number 5. Look at that. That
was some
great
great camera
probably
work.
the best shot we've seen so far. He talks about how I'm just going on about Tom. That was the best transition we've had so far. That was beautiful from the
That's
lead.
great second-class camera work.
That was
Well, we could
that
not have
was
scripted this
beautiful.
better. It seems to be, at least for now, anything can happen, but it seems to be the last two races are the
Ooh.
two tightest, most competitive ones.
Non-small John is in first.
Your absolutely amazing coordination there with
Oh, it is like Sonic Viz
I
up.
mean, it looks like Sonic and Harry are kind of starting
This
to pull away from the pack a little bit,
is-
although John is actually there.
Wow.
So it's kind of, we've got two distinctive packs here. The first three races and the second three races, all in those distinctive
I think they're
packs.
trying to
This
get me
race is
to
close call.
race more in Reno Air races.
And look at these three. Sonic dropped back to third the last time we were going through the Valley of Speed. Now back into first place again.
Wow.
Yep.
It's competitive. This is so competitive.
And this is what we want to see. Again, we
Yep.
talked about it before, that wild card spot. I know they're all fighting for the lead. It is that guaranteed spot in the final, but whoever comes second, if they get that time anywhere close to Chili's, they could be...
Oh, Harry's back. Back to the top.
Spot. And with the pace that we're seeing so far and how fast they're pulling away from the rest of the group here, it's looking like we could potentially see another sub 7-minute 30-second time on the clock here.
I will be amazed, and I won't be surprised because apparently Harry is the fearless leader according to the chat that I'm reading right now. Of
Fearless
the Reno
leader.
Discord.
Fearless leader. Well, that's
Fearless
but
leader.
the thing is that with that is that if he's the fearless leader, and if he's also the one that a lot of people are betting on for this, there comes pressure with that, right? This is maybe the first time that all of these races have been shown on a live stream or something like that, shown in a public platform racing. So the pressure might get to them, and it's so close between them All three of these people in
Wow.
the have led the race at one point.
Sonic
With
Viz.
only about 3.5 minutes left to go. It is most certainly all still to play for. One thing to also note, no pylon cuts so far by any of the pilots.
Yeah, nice clean racing. Sonic in the lead now. Harry and Non-Small John just fractions of a second behind.
It looks absolutely amazing, doesn't it? Look at how close they are. And the thing is that they've not let up from one another throughout all of this. They've stuck with each other throughout the entirety of the lap so far that we've seen. They're not giving each other any room to play with. Any small mistake here could be the defining factor between first place, second place, potentially for the wild card, and that third place spot, which is automatically finishing outside of qualification for the grand finals next week. Let's have a look through the Valley of Speed as we've got the other three racers coming through. There's a Tox race coming through, now a little bit solo. We've got then in fifth place Dreamwave coming through that Valley of Speed, as we say.
I bet if Harry loses, he'll say someone cheated or he had issues. Yeah, probably.
Just chilling at the back. I mean, the great thing for these three is that they've got great front row seats for those three who are out the front.
Or he won't invite Terminal Velocity to his group of Saturday night flights or whatever.
Harry, Sonic, and Non-Small
Yeah,
John.
look at that.
In the last 30 seconds, each one of them has been in first place at one point.
Look at it. It's constantly going back. And the thing is that this is today. Can you imagine what it's going to be like next week for the grand finals when we've got people who are all going to be of similar quality who are going to be doing this? It's going to be so darn close. I cannot wait for it. Absolutely, yeah, yes, suits. Absolutely, that's good. That's what's going to happen. Yes, we'll see. We'll see. Sonic's been consistently good here, though. Sonic again dropped back to third a little bit earlier on, but seems to be in good stead for the most part. It's really interesting to see the lines that they're taking here, whether they're taking those slightly wider outsider lines. It looks like Harry's really smooth with their movement, constantly keeping that bank angle on throughout these corners. You'll see whether they level out here. You can see he's taking that slightly wider line here. Sonic keeping low and John trying to keep up with them. But I mean, this is just amazing. Look at how close all three of them are. It looks like John's basically directly on top of Harry there as they go through pylon number 7. And folks, this is it. This race has been so close that we are coming up to the final lap now.
Final lap.
White flag, white flag.
This one. I've got no idea how
Sonic Vid. Oh, it's tight.
For the final lap, Sonic taking the lead still, consistently being in the lead for most of this
I
race.
think this is the most exciting race.
In a very close second, and then John right on their tail, waiting.
Well, because the last one was good, but you had two. This is like a fight of three.
Competing for a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. Whichever one of them secures first place is guaranteed to get a Tobii Eye Tracker 5.
There is hardware coming in for this one. There is hardware that is going to be decided within the next 30 seconds. Clock timer coming up to it now. We're going to see as they head round the penultimate few corners in this final race of this evening for the Reno Air Race Series. This is going to decide the final. Harry has taken the lead. He's the chat's favorite. He's in the lead at the moment, but Sonic right on his tail. John has done absolutely amazing to keep up with these two and put them through their paces throughout the entirety of the race. Here is the finish line. We're going to see who's going to finish.
Sonic Viz! Sonic Viz! Sonic Viz! Oh no! Harry! What? What? Ray after his last second!
Harry wins!
Holy smokes! This is like a Joe Rogan moment, like, oh my!
Now we have to see the time, though. Did Sonic get that wild
Wow!
spot, or is it going to be chilly?
That was like
9.781 is the time to beat for the wild card.
That was crazy.
There's not a future for flight simulation esports right now. Like,
Harry.
I don't know, like, this has got to be the start of it because that was absolutely
Wow.
incredible. Congratulations to all the racers on a very, very, very clean race. And I believe that was the only race that we've had today without a single pylon cut. So really great race to finish us off with. Yeah, I'm going to say that was definitely the best race that we've had so far.
No. I hope that
Shout out to John there. John kept up with Sonic and Harry throughout the entirety of that and did not quit whatsoever.
I think I can smell something and it's not not good.
To the final, but they can up high as they race very, very, very well. And yeah, look at that.
You must have slewed, yeah.
Lovely shot.
Beautiful, Peter.
Well,
Reno
we'll see the times here in a moment, but it's all luck of the draw. It's quite possible that Non-Small John, if he had been in a different heat, might have been the first place winner based on the time.
It's a...
Oh, it's 7:32s.
Uh-oh.
It's 732s. I thought we were going to be
That's what I
sub
thought.
730s there.
Wow.
There it is. Well, Sonic, I mean, look at that time.
But actually,
the
There's
timings
a
are
tie.
exactly the same.
Yeah. That's
Oh.
It's a tie. Look at
is
it. It's a tie. 732,
Oh my God.
140s.
Oh, well,
Which
you know what we have to
means-
do then?
What do we have
Oh
to
my
do?
God, it's a dead heat.
We're going to sudden
Wow.
death.
we're
overtime.
going to sudden death overtime, baby.
And Sonic.
Harry and Sonic. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Race.
Tommy.
Again, these guys had a beef with each other in the Discord.
Wow, we were talking about this earlier.
We didn't
were
think
talking
that would
about
happen,
that-
did we?
I gotta go check on something because
That means
it
now,
smells
as
a
far as I'm
little
aware, that Chile has
funky.
confirmed a wild
And-
spot, or
That
because
is
this
correct.
a dead-
Yep. Chile is guaranteed the wild card spot.
Gotcha. Okay.
all right.
There
So
we go. So Chile has
sudden
confirmed
death
the
between
wild
Harry
card
and
spot.
Velocity.
So this is for all the marbles, though, isn't it? This is for that final spot, and this is also again for the Tobii Eye Tracker.
Yeah.
Wow, that is unbelievable. Literally to the thousandths of a second, exactly the same between them.
So Peter, if you can
Unbelievable.
set up that lobby with Harry and Sonic,
Or can we get both Tom and Peter?
or both of you, yeah.
Hey,
maybe
Brian.
Tom can set it up too.
Brian, great racing. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much. Congratulations. You didn't hit any pylons. You had a clean race and great job. So thank you for taking part in the Reno Air Race Series. As you say, it is the taking part, and you can officially say that you were part of the race that couldn't be determined of a winner because it was exactly the same time by a thousandth of a second. So you can say that you were a part of that. I think Harry got it on lap time. Are we doing it on lap time to determine a winner, or are we going to do a dead heat?
Well, I know
Is
in the
there a
grand
rule to state
finals,
this?
in the grand finals, we do cumulative total time across all 4 races.
Okay.
But that's next week. I'm not sure if we had a rule to determine the tiebreaker. Let me just check the official rules.
Have a look at the official rules. I mean, I think it would be... it's difficult to say either way, isn't it? What's the best way to go with this? You could say that it would be fair to go on lap timing, but I mean, when it comes down to a thousandth of a second, surely both pilots are worthy of another shot.
Well, for the entertainment factor, I think the sudden death match race is the best way to do it. But let's just make sure we're doing it properly according to the rules. I'm just looking for those now.
Absolutely
Which con tickets
crazy.
are now on sale?
Oh.
Hurry, Julie. I can't get mine though. Choose the streamers.
Every event. I'm not jealous at all. Not jealous at all. Yeah, oh gosh, we've got a Michael Massey Abu Dhabi Grand Prix situation.
Yeah, that's right.
It's fine. Blame CD. He's the one. He's the one.
Yeah, I'm consulting the rules right now. I'll link it in chat so you can look yourself. I quick scan. I have not seen anything about lap time yet, but I'm going to keep looking.
This is where a Control F comes in.
Before I turn up the music.
It's like,
VAR check in progress.
I see it says, in the event of a tie, the winner will be determined by the fastest total cumulative finish time. Well,
That's in the grand
That's
finals.
for the finals.
That's in the grand finals. We didn't anticipate this would happen. So I'm gonna, as the race administrator, I'm going to make a game time decision because it's more entertaining. We are going to do the sudden death match race 1-on-1 between Sonic and Harry.
I think we have to, don't we? I think we have to. I think it's
Yeah.
only fair to give you guys some more entertainment, and especially when they were that close. I mean, the timings don't lie. And I think for the sake of the chat as well, I think you guys would like to see another race. Surely people would like to see another race instead of just deciding it on lap times. That's a lot more exciting, isn't it? A lot more exciting. Wow. Well, I mean, is it ever going to top that? I don't know how we're ever going to top that now on the Reno Air Race Series streams.
oh man.
We might have a small problem because Sonic Fizz
It's gone.
Has Rage
Well,
quit?
no, he said back to bed for me. Have a good one.
Oh,
Oh!
Okay.
oh no!
Oh!
Can you ping Sonic?
That's so funny.
I've done that more than
Quick,
once.
come back! Don't go to bed!
Sonic.
Oh no, John! I hit the ground 2 seconds before the finish line. John, you certainly gave them a very well fought and hard race. Though you are on their tail, for the and right as part of the pack and overtaking them throughout the entirety of it. So congratulations!
Man, like everyone's like, terminal velocity, come back. Where are you?
Have Sonic's number.
Wake him up! It's 4 a.m. Who cares about it being 4 a.m.? Everybody wants to see another race.
I love
Apart from
that.
poor old
That's the
CD,
best thing
who I'm worried
that's
about
like
at the moment.
that's flight sim. That's
Yeah, that
what
is
you
flight
expect.
sim in a nutshell, isn't it?
Going
You
Wow.
draw a race to a thousandth of a second, and then you go to bed instead of.
Now, can someone remind me what was the completion time for our top two? It was 7:32 something.
7:32.140.
I've got it right now. I've got Harry listed.
Yeah, I think in virtue of if Sonic has gone to bed and Harry had the fastest lap, then Harry is the de facto winner there, right?
We'll give Sonic 2 more minutes to return, and if they don't get back in that time, then we'll
2 more
go to
minutes.
Harry for fastest lap.
Whilst we wait, let's look at those times. Look at those times. Just whilst we wait to see if Sonic is going to return. Look at those. So Psycho Nova 7:33.3, Wimmer 7:31.5, Nixon 7:33.9, Flight Level 0 7:32.1, Harry 7:32.1, Matt 7:29.5, the fastest of all of our racers today. And then Chile. And this is exactly why this proves why the wild card spot is so important, because Chile, even though they didn't finish first, they had the second fastest time by almost.
This match will be a good topic for tonight's flight. Yeah.
They were able to grab a spot in the grand finals next week. So really great decision to have a wild card racer in there. Otherwise, they would have missed out on it.
Yeah. Now, for our 7 competitors who you see on your screen now who have qualified for the grand final next week, remember, you do need to practice in all 4 classes. Today, for qualifying, we did unlimited only. But next week in the grand final,
Yeah. How are you going to practice? In time trials. That's the only thing you can do. Or
and jet.
get yourself a
And we're
group.
going Formula 1 style, so you get points based on your
Pretty much it.
in,
You can't
each race.
really
So first
do
place is 15
multiplayer
points,
with
second place is 12
random
points,
people.
etc. Down to 7th place is 0 points.
Yeah.
Because nobody
One
races.
thing that's really interesting is Psycho saying in the chat, you need to have a good draft partner to post under a 7:30. But this is the thing, you've got to keep up with that draft partner, right? It's all well and good having that draft partner there to potentially push you below that 7-minute 30-second time, but you've got to keep up with them. That's easier said than done. So, maybe Chile only got that sub 7-minute 30-second time because he was able to stick so close to Matt throughout the entirety of that race. But, without being able to stick so darn close to it, they might not have been able to get quite that time that they did. So, very good. I mean, we're counting down the clock here. I don't know whether we're going to...
I've just noticed we've got some controversy in chat. Initially, chat was saying that Harry had the fastest lap time. Now Gaz is saying that Sonic had the fastest lap time.
No. 58.48.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah.
5.46. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
correct.
we'll forgive you because you're ill. Don't worry, you're forgiven. You're forgiven. No controversy here. Don't worry. It's not a Michael Massey F1 scenario on this one.
Yeah, we're in Reno, not Bahrain.
Yeah, so in this case,
that's it.
Harry will win on
Harry
that time.
wins. All right.
Okay.
We'll leave it there. I think
Very
this is
good.
the best meme ever. Sonic is going to
think-
bed.
Poor guy when he's gonna wake up.
When he's waking, he sees all the things, he's gonna
when he
hate
sees the
himself.
pings, he's gonna
Yeah.
absolutely
No!
hate life.
No! Never go to bed again.
It reminds me of Captain Canada. He did he gave out a prize for a Boeing yoke and
and Chili Gribble. You all did incredible races. We'll see you back next time, next week, same time, same place for the grand finals, in which you will compete in all 4 classes. So we'll find out who the true King of Reno is. However, we have another live stream coming up this Friday, Community Fly-In Friday.
we actually have a community flight in about 2 hours.
Yeah, hopefully.
But
I feel
yeah,
like I'm on the mend.
too
But this
bad
Friday,
it didn't go so well
it is
for
the
me.
12th anniversary of the Chilean mine cave-in. Do you guys remember that 12 years ago?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually going to do a flight over Chile in the
the Chile thing.
of the country, including flying over.
There's a movie on Amazon coming out.
What could have been a very tragic
Don't have-
disaster, but all 33 miles
Yeah, Lars,
underground.
don't worry,
successfully
you don't need it. It's
So it turned into be a very good news story.
it gets
And,
it gets
we'll
boring
be
very
very
quickly.
visiting some of those locations on Community Fly-In Friday this week.
Chewy, what stream?
All right, well, that's it for the stream. They're done with their stream, and
live again tomorrow
be back live.
Retro Indonesia.
Be back live later tonight in about 2 hours. We're going to Southern Arizona, starting off in Flagstaff, going down to Tucson, and stopping at a few places, see some landmarks and stuff. So that'll be fun. But thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for all the support today. Although it was a debacle in my case, but see you in the next video. See you then.